and you're sharing a moment of your time with me, man, what's going on? A lot of stuff is going on. We had, I got to go on Joe Rogan this week. We went on Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan's, I was nervous, first of all. I was nervous because I look up to Joe so much, and for some reason with me, I think when I look up to somebody, for some reason it makes me kind of nervous. I guess, you want to, I don't know. It's like when you're hanging out, you know what it feels like to me a little bit? It's like you're hanging out with your big brother and his friends. And you're like, you want to, you're just, I don't know. I was just nervous. But it was wild, man. And right off the bat, Joe starts talking to me, and I love Joe. I'm extremely grateful to him. He's done a lot of nice things, small things that were really nice for me, like like he would just see me do comedy. And I've said this before, but he would just drop me a text a couple days later, the next day, and just say, hey man, you had a really good set, and that kind of stuff, like, you don't realize sometimes, like, somebody that you admire, like, telling you something, sharing something positive, supporting what you do, you don't realize how much that means to that person. And he doesn't, I don't think he doesn't probably realize it. But it's like I would get those texts and I'm like, wow, man. It's like your big brother. It's like, I don't know. It's just like it's like impressing your brother, I don't know, and that kind of stuff really just has resonated with me over the years. He's done that. And Joey Diaz does that as well. He'll call you. But Joe would do that sometimes and just hit me up and say, hey man, you were really funny last night. And, coming from, my life when all I wanted to do probably was, make people I admired, make them feel like I was part of, like I was okay. And maybe some of that goes back to like father and brother, not being present growing up and all of that. But, just when you have a male figure and it, just that support, that's really what it is. Joe's been so supportive. And so, anyway, but I was excited to be in there and I was excited to get to hang out with him because he thinks like wild. He thinks like he's got, it's like, I think he has more than one brain in his head. Joe Rogan might have 5 or 6 brains in there. And one of the brains is probably and then he might have other brains orbiting around brains. He might have one brain that's, he might have brains in the distance, cooking elk. I mean, he's got, he continues to kind of like expand his way of thinking. And so right in the beginning, he was talking about if there were infinite universes and if there were more than just one of you. And I couldn't even, I was so nervous, kind of, I was just, couldn't even think really that good. But then now I'm thinking, after that, I texted him the next day and I was like, man, I'm obsessed now with wondering if there are infinite universes, this is what he was saying, if so many infinite universes that there would be a possibility for you to meet your exact self. Like, say the two universes get close enough to each other somehow in orbits or whatever, and then there's, programs, you're both astronauts or something, and you meet, like, if you were able to meet your exact self, think about that. If you were able to meet your exact self, and I was just like, I left there thinking, would I like myself? Like if I met me, like, would I like me? What would I do? What would I think? Would I think I was neat? Would I think I was tall? Would I think that I was handsome? Would I think that would I know, if I were able to look into my own eyes, would I be able to like see my truths at like another dimension? Especially since most of my life, especially growing up, like I didn't have a lot of self-worth. So most of my self-worth would come from what other people thought of me. There was no, there was nothing inside of me. So everything that I knew I had to get from the outside. And so I was so hyper aware of what other people were constantly thinking because I needed to be, because I needed that next second and that next minute and that next, just to know. I was monitoring how I was and if I was okay through moment to moment interaction with others. And what they would give me back, that's how I feel about myself. I was thinking like if I based my feelings off of what other people thought of me and I saw myself, would I then, like looking into my own eyes, would I be able to, just come full circle with what self-worth means and what it, and just like get to another plateau in thinking about that. But it just fascinated me. I left out of there thinking like, what the fuck? I never thought about running into myself. Would I think I had bad breath? Would I think I had like a long neck or a regular neck or a kind of a 4 out of 10, kind of a mid-range, lower mid-range neck, medium rare? Because I don't have a super long neck. And I don't think a lot of people in my family, we're not real look-arounders. Some people have a long neck. When you see those people, they're looking for stuff and they can, look behind the sofa easier and they don't lose their wallet probably as much because they got that extra 2 inches to look and to gaze. They could see fruit easier if they're looking for fruits. But when you have that limited neck, man, you kind of, you're stuck on your own little bitty. It's not really a hilltop. You just kind of stuck on, you kind of just hanging out on your own cliffside. You can't do a lot when you got that limited neck. And I come from a long line of people with limited necks. But yeah, I was just wondering if you saw yourself and you looked in your own eyes, would you, I don't know, would your just whole world explode? Like, would you just know everything? Would I like myself? It just blew my mind. If there were infinite universes, and it just blew my mind, man. So I left out of there, I think, with a little bit more thinking, and I think that's kind of what Joe Rogan does for me, is he makes me think a little bit more. And he makes me think sometimes of uncomfortable things. He makes me think outside of like the confines of the comfortable confines of things that, these templates that I was raised in or raised around or just that I saw. It's kind of like when you see, remember when you got them colors when you were a child and your mother took you to the color shop and you got that 8 box. You got that box of 8 hitters, just that little fucking, that Roy G. Biv fiasco. You got that little 8-pack, that 8 ball. You got that 8 ball. And suddenly, some dude shows up with that 64 box. And your fucking dick blew out of your ears. Remember that? Dude, I remember my nuts traveled up my body and looked out of my eye holes. Because I was just shook by the fact that some man suddenly had 56 more colors than I had. Some boy, not a man. They didn't have any men in our class, in disguise or anything. But that some boy, and it blew my mind. And suddenly you were doing different pictures and you were thinking different things. And you were like, fuck, magenta? I'm out here on magenta? And then everything changed. Because then I would see maybe I would see somebody's shirt or hat or I would see a woman's hat at church and be like, oh, that's a magenta hat. And suddenly, you have more elements to put out into your template, to put out into your world. And that's kind of, I think, that's kind of what I left out of Joe Rogan's podcast thinking. I left out of there actually just thinking. He makes me think, and I think he makes a lot of, young men and women think. He's kind of this dope ass outer space male, marine, kind of not, he's just everything. I don't know what he is, man. It's almost like if you took a whole timeline of existence and just took it like that and put it all into one person. It's like the past and, and the future and everything. And he's probably got moons. I bet he has moons going around him. I bet there's a moon way off in the distance that we don't even know about. That's just that, just that Rogan moon. But it was an honor, man. It's an honor to go in there. It's just an honor. I don't know. It made me feel, I just felt like accepted. Like he made me feel accepted, which for me is like a really big thing, like I think a lot of my life I don't feel that way. And so to go in and I don't even think these are things that he's, outwardly doing like on purpose. I think some of it's just his nature. I think in some ways he's like a little bit of like that big brother that like, I had my brother, but my brother, didn't live with us and like, and he, and he's had some, he's had some tough times, even though I really love my brother and I'm, I don't think I've ever been prouder of anybody in my whole life than him. But anyway, damn boy, this shit got me gleeking out my eyeballs, dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm fucking making salt water, dude. I'm like a 6th grade science experiment, zit. But yeah, I don't know. He just made me feel accepted and just, I don't know. But I'm just grateful, man. I'm just grateful to be in an environment where I feel inspired. I get to go on some of these other podcasts, Fighter and the Kid, and those guys make me laugh, man. And they make you laugh. I know it because I get out on the road and I see these, I see Fighter and the Kid listeners, and I'm a Fighter and the Kid listener, so I know it's like there's just this wild, we're part of their party. We're part of their party, and I guess I'm just grateful to just be, just to, I guess, I don't know. I'm just grateful, I guess, to feel accepted some. And maybe, that shouldn't matter to me. And I don't know if it matters. It's not a thing like I walk around thinking like those guys didn't accept me ever, but I don't know. It's just something that I feel. So anyway, man, there was a lot more to spending time over at Rogan's, and the conversation was kind of all over, and he thinks it's so fast, and it's hard for me to, he's got Lance Armstrong in his blood. So that dude's out there. He's in outer space. He's walking on the moon. He's juggling. He's playing saxophone. He's got all kinds of things going on inside of him. And, but it was fun, man. It was exciting and it was fun. And so if you wonder what it's like to kind of go in, because I get a lot of messages like, Theo, what's it like to go to Joe Rogan's? And, is it underground? Somebody asked me if it's underground, like it's a bunker. And that made me laugh so hard, man. No, actually, it's in a blimp. It is, we leave the earth and we go out there, and Eddie Bravo's the driver, and we just travel around. And so that way you get a firsthand look at some of the things that, some of the things that Joe is talking about. But yeah, man, I just had a blast. And I know that a lot of, people that are, fans of mine and friends of mine, and just being able to listen to me talk to somebody that we all admire, like Joe. I just know it was fun for a lot of us. So I was just glad to be there. What else? What else is going on? Sorry, dude, I got on these, I started dripping out the face, so that's happens. Whatever. That's life, dude. That's life. Well, whatever was inside me, I'm glad it's not in me anymore, bruh. Get out. Get out of me. If you got to come out my eyes, you must be something wild. That's what I think about, emotions and stuff. Because there's a lot of ways to get out of my body. You come out my ass, come out my mouth, ears. But there must be something. There must be something special about emotions. If the way that they have to get out of your body is they have to crawl out of your eyes via water and salt. Which are the two, which I think, look, bottom line, water, salt, sunlight, that's what it all is out here. That's the bottom line. If you crack me open with a baseball bat, or if a couple of Vietnamese dudes kick me open, I bet that at the end of it all, that you break me all the way down and I'm just water and salt and sunlight. I bet we all are. But there must be something special about emotion. If the way that it gets out of you, think about, dude, you have pores all over your body. Whatever those feelings are, when you feel something and it emotes out of your eyeballs via salt water. I mean, that's the dark arts right there. It's a beautiful dark art, but that is a dark art. It has to cry. Dude, it could come out of any of your pores, ears, eyes, butt, wiener. What if you cried out of your wiener? Imagine that, dude. Imagine, dude, some kid, he's just all pissed and his dad's about to come whoop him because he stole something. Maybe he stole a couple of, extra, cuts of cabbage or something. They were doing cabbage soup and he snuck up by the cutting board and just grabbed 2 little cuts of cabbage and ran off to his room and just fucking, rabbit faced those bitches into his belly. And now his daddy's pissed and he knows his daddy's about to whoop him. And he's just sitting there and he's got to cry. But how he does it, he just breaks his wiener out and just straight up just tears up right out into a beautiful stream, just a beautiful stream of sadness flying out of his wiener right out the window. I mean, could you imagine? But that's not how it works. You don't feel sad and then, and then tears come out of your butt. That's not how it works. There's something that happens inside of you when you feel something emotional where it climbs up out of your chest, through your throat, and comes out your the potholes to your soul, baby. It's pretty powerful, man. It's powerful stuff. So, and I know I get into my feelings sometimes, dude. I just didn't have them a lot growing up, and I think I'm just kind of grateful to have some of them now. But thank you guys so much for being here with me, man. And thanks for anybody that checked out being on there with Joe Rogan. Man, I just can't, it's just fun. Man, it just was fun, dude. It's fun. You go in there and they got this scary, they got like a mountain cat. I don't know what they killed, dude, but he kills everything. He could kill. I mean, dude, I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, dude, I looked him in the eyes at one point and I asked him, I don't know if I asked him if he'd been outer space or if he, if he knows, if the government tried to get to him, and he said no to me. And I believe him, but I wouldn't be surprised if he has like a shuttle or something. Dude, he could be out there hunting fucking space bears. Would you be shocked? Would you be shocked if Rogan showed up in a damn space bear fur coat? I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be, man. I wouldn't be at all. And if we got to send anybody into space to do it, I'd send him. I'd send him 100%. He's kind of like the leader. But anyhow, man, yeah, I don't know why I'm just kind of rambling on that. I guess it's just on my mind and heart. And then a lot of people were asking me. Yeah, and it's like, but the best was, is it underground? That was the best. That was the best thing I've heard. So thank you to whoever sent that in to me. Today's episode is brought to you by Ridge Wallet. And Ridge Wallet is, a lot of times you see a man and you see their butt, and a woman too, and sometimes a hardy lesbian, they want to roll like this. And you see their butt, but you also see something on their butt. You're like, what is that on their butt? It's like their butt has just like something on it. And that's a wallet that's in their pants. But it's weird, And so now you got the new Ridge Wallet, and that's that front pocket carry. And this is that beautiful hitter. And the thing is you put your stuff in here and you carry it with you. You don't have this big old Galapagos turtle living on your ass cheek like you used to with that old wallet. And dude, think about what's in your wallet. You got that picture of your girl you used to, bust down on back in the day, 8th grade. You got headshots. You got Olin Mills picture. What the fuck are you doing? You got them condoms you ain't never used, bruh. And you're married now. You've been married for a decade. Get rid of that junk. Get rid of that old specimen, that old petri dish you carrying around. That thing smells. Smell your wallet. Come on. So now you get that new front pocket carry. That's ridgewallet.com/Theo. It's 10% off. Look, man, go check it out. And I didn't like mine at first. I'll be honest with you. First 3 days, I was like, ugh. Since then, all 58 days since then, complete savagery, bro. Enjoying my life being in my front pocket carry, bro. What's in your carry? I want to remind you to check out My West Coast Buds. That's a new podcast, and that's by Joe DeMayo. And Joe is he's kind of a connoisseur. He's like an everyday man sort of connoisseur. He likes cannabis, coffee, he likes comedy, and he likes spirits. And I'm not talking ghosts, I'm talking about alcohol. He likes, unless a fucking Grim Reaper shows up with a shot of gin, then maybe he likes it all. And he is a unique character, and he owns a dispensary in Tigard, Oregon called Coral Cove. And Joe will talk to you about everything that he goes through up there and what it's like making whiskey, making jokes, a lot of how-to. It's kind of an inside baseball look at those industries, selling dope, doing all of that. So check it out. We'll have the link below, and that's My West Coast Buds. What else is going on, man? Let's get into some other things. I'll tell you about something. They had that school shooting. I know people don't like thinking about it. But I was thinking about more like, and God bless everybody. And, that, if you have a family member or anything that's, had to deal with that or any of these, it's becoming such a commonplace thing. And I was talking to one of our producers, Nick, earlier. And he, and Nick's a beautiful young man. He might've been a premature baby, but that's, he could. And I don't know if you ever shake being a premature baby, but I think he's mastered as well as any man could. He's a, handsome young fella. And anyhow, what happened, I was talking to him and he was saying, well, once something happened, because it's like, why does this keep happening? Why does this keep happening? And one of the things is once something happens the first time, then it happens more. Like, and the more I think about it, like, yes, I think it has a great deal to do with mental health. Yes, I think that these high profile, fast action assault rifles and shit, I think that I don't know if we need those. I've never seen a hunter have like 1,100 deer running at him, with pistols on their hoofs, you don't have 70 raccoons, coming down on parachutes, you don't have any, on them raccoon shoots just dropping down and you got to mow them all out. We don't have that. So it's like, do we need that? I go back to the old days. So you got to load and show. And that seems more, more fair. But, but anyway, our producer, Nick, I was talking to him, he was saying, I think it's because once it happens once, then other people see it. And kids do what caused the most harm, I guess. A sick anyone will think that way. I think you didn't see it a lot in the past because it hadn't been done yet. You don't see somebody learn to juggle or try juggling until somebody else, been working with magic balls in the air. And once it's done that first time, then you see more of it. And so I think that has a lot to do with it. Why does this keep happening? Because it's happened once. And people see the effect and they see, you have a kid that's probably somewhere inside of himself is mentally broken or so broken. And he just, and the devil gets him and he wants to do bad. And he wants to, he doesn't see any difference in making other people outside of him feel the pain that he feels inside of himself. He can't differentiate between if that's okay or if that's not okay. Or maybe he just thinks it is okay. Maybe he thinks, I hurt so bad that everyone should hurt. And so he busts down like that. But yeah, I don't think we need these high-powered weapons. What? Or also, how about that little liaison period from when you want the weapon to when you get the weapon? How about that? Let's give a little more time. Look, there's no reason that I need look, I need a passport sometimes immediately. I get that. You need that passport within 3 days. You got a surprise trip. You leaving. But I can't think of a super good reason that I need an AR-15 by Thursday. Can't think of one. And if I do have a reason, there's nothing logical as to why that couldn't wait another week. So it's just horrific and it's tragic. And, young people are mimics and they do what they see. They little monkeys. Young people are little monkeys and they do what they see. And so I didn't mean to bring it down by talking about that stuff, but I know down there in Texas, we have a lot of listeners in Texas, and Texas is one of my favorite states. I mean, Texas is the kind of state where you show up and you do your work and you live your life. And you show respect and other people show respect, and that's how life is. And I've always loved Texas. And it's just a tragedy to see some of this kind of stuff just continue to happen. But I've said before, we should have classes. There should be a class. I don't give a fuck about social studies. I don't give a shit about spelling. There should be classes in school where you learn to express your feelings and let other people express their feelings and how you work together on that. And how you can just know if you are talking to a friend, if they're okay or not. Or how if you're not okay, you could try to share some of that shit, man. And I know some of this stuff might sound like weakness and everything, but I don't think it is. I think it's the toughest thing you can do is, teach young people how to be vulnerable and help them learn. Because fuck, dude, I got to do this. I'm in these programs now and I'm doing this shit now and I'm 38, bro. I'm a straight up adult, You want to catch me in 40 years, bro? You can catch me in the G yard, son. I'll be 6 feet down. A couple brothers throwing dirt on me, shoveling out. I'll be trying to crawl through the dirt, just bones only, trying to catch a little bit of, marrow out of some maybe sweet gal that's about, a couple plots over. Because I'm going to be that dark artist when I'm in the dirt. You know what I'm saying? Just because I'm in the grave doesn't mean I'm not going to be, trying to get out there and get a little bit of Cossacks or a little bit of tailbone, or not tailbone, but is there any bones in the vagina? You know what I'm saying? I don't think vagina bone. What is it? Damn, I don't know, dude. I think I felt a bone down there or something before. Not like but I think there's, what's holding the vagina up? Some kind of bone? Whatever that is, boy, I'll be peeking out of ant farms and stuff. Once I'm buried, I'm not done. And I'm not going to be a ghost boy. I'm going to be that underground rattler. I'm going to be down there just sifting through sand face first. Can you believe that's the most gangster thing about snakes, dude? They go face fucking first through the dirt. What? Dude, I lose my shit if I walk into a cobweb. A snake do face first forever, wherever they go. They do not have that fear in them. They are the devil's phalanges, and you know that. And I know some people like them and stuff like that, but every now and then a snake chokes out an old lady in Tucson. That's once a month. A snake will put a senior citizen into a hard scarf. A snake will just drop that hard scarf on a senior citizen, and next thing you know, they wake up in heaven. So a snake is a very dangerous animal. What else? What else is going on, man? I'm still on Paleo's diet, and dude, it's getting easier. It's getting easier, and I feel better. And, I talked about it last week, but I don't have any body gas, dude. I could count on 2 fingers the number of times that I've had body gas. And that's been truly beautiful. Because look, dude, I had gas for years, to be honest with you, probably most of my life. And it's fun. I get it. Sometimes, changing the whole environment of a room with a secret weapon is exciting. I'm not going to say that shit isn't exciting, dude. It's like having David Blaine fucking pop up out of your butt. Suddenly everybody doesn't know what the hell stinks or who did it. It's like Agatha Christie is straight up living in your asshole, bro. That's straight up. That is. I mean, that's beautiful, making mysteries like that. Just making air mysteries. But it's nice to not have that. It's nice to not be chatting with somebody and you can't even think because, dude, at a certain point, and this is, I know this is probably a little grotesque and below some people's education level. And if it is, then fucking take a hike because I'm smart too. But maybe I'm just not talking about, glacier melt right now. Maybe I'm not talking about, birds, how long birds' beaks are, or the NASDAQ. Maybe I'm just talking about regular life. But it's crazy, dude. I noticed this for me. When I used to have body gas a lot, if I had in your stomach a fart, we'll call it a fart because I don't know if they have a better term for it yet. But a fart it almost starts to develop a brain a little bit because you're like, damn, this thing, it's like thinking because you got it. You got it. Nobody knows you got it. And it starts to know it got you at some point. When it gets close to that cliff, it starts to know that it's in control and you start to feel it think a little bit. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about fart think. And I think that's a real condition. I think that's a real condition for the future. What else is happening, man? What else can we talk about? Oh, look, man, a lot of things. A lot of things have happened. We had a lot of beautiful voicemails that came in. And I'm going to get to those, some of those. We'll go through them. We'll keep talking about other stuff. It was just a crazy week, getting to go in and talk with Joe and just, just be around somebody that I just look up to and that I watch on stage and that, he inspires me sometimes to be fearless and to say what I think. And especially in Hollywood, this place doesn't want you saying what you think. I mean, it's like, sometimes I'm happy to be here and I want to work in this industry, but it's, it's crazy to me. I mean, I just even look at like how Hollywood is suddenly like, suddenly it's like, so it's all about diversity, but 2 years ago, black people had to beg to be on the Academy Awards, and that's not the kind of, they're just, I don't know. I just don't trust this industry sometimes. And maybe that's just business and I need to ball up a little bit and that's fine. Look, I'm out here to learn. I don't know. I'm out here to learn. Let's take this call that came in about their weekend. Every week you can call and leave a voicemail on the hotline. The hotline is 985-664-9503. And that hotline mostly has all types of things people calling. And look, I can't even tell you how many calls we get. A lot. And that doesn't mean that we don't care. It's just hard to sometimes get back to all of them. Some of them are people, yerking off and there's a couple of voicemails, people fucking couples and men only and everything happening. Some lady's training, I don't want to say parakeets, but it sounds like parakeets, or she has twins with like real high pitched voices or something that are, I don't know if they're eating seed or something. It sounds hella sketchy, bro. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff on there. It's just not even real stuff, but we go through it all. And some things we can get to and some things we can't. If you call and left a voicemail, don't feel bad. It's not a rejection. It's just, right now it didn't fit into the episode or maybe we'll do it in the future or maybe call back at some other time. But thank you for everybody that's called or texted. What do I want to do? Oh, I want to play. Every week you can call and let me know if you had a great weekend or a bad weekend. Let us know how it was. And each we'll play some every week, and we'll put a contest winner at the end of each month for this past week and how it was, great, bad, whatever. Here's a weekend story that came in right here.
Hey, what's up, Theo? I'm a college student. I'm studying biology, and I've been supporting myself by working a third shift at a gas station, kind of in the ghetto of the city my college is in.
Dang, dude. Good luck, man. That sounds like a place where people get murdered a lot. No offense. And I hope and I hope everything's good with you, especially since you're still in college. Biology, man. Biology was crazy, dude. Remember biology? You didn't know anything. Next thing you know, you're cutting into a frog. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you're running around with a frog heart on your fingertips and showing it to the ladies. Every answer in biology, mitochondria. That was the answer on every test. It was all mitochondria. Sometimes it was cytoplasm. Boom. If you are in 7th grade and you are still looking for answers, that's the answer to everyone. Thank you for calling, young brother. Onward.
And it's usually all right, but last night about 6 guys came in, and they just bought a gas can and put like 2 gallons of gasoline in it, and they seem really calm, real chill, man.
Oh, and that's sketchy, man. When you show up and you just get that gas can, gas only, that means you're out of gas, or that's arson. And a lot of times when arson happens, that's either insurance money or somebody has like a sleeping family member or something, and they's about to change the game. And they about to, really just change it all and maybe end up on Dateline. Let's hear more.
Nice guys when they left, but they came back like 2 hours later, just high as fuck. Probably on meth. They were freaking out.
Probably on meth or probably on gas, dude. I remember on Halloween one time we ate some mushrooms, some of them beautiful little fucking land creatures. And one of my buddies, Todd, tried to drink some gasoline and had to go actually to the, I guess he went to the emergency room. But let's hear more.
And they were trying to return the gas can because it was like $12, but the store policy is you can't return gas cans once there's been gas in them. So they were like yelling at me and talking all at once, saying they were going to stab me if I didn't and cut my head off and shit. And
damn, cut your head off, bro. That's a Greyhound bus move, bro. That's a finishing move on the Greyhound bus version of Mortal Kombat. And I don't know what the cheat code is to open that up, but let's hear more.
I was a Marine out of high school, so I'm not afraid of any man, but, 6 make me really concerned.
Semper Fi. Do you hear that confidence in that man's voice right there? Dude, that's the kind of stuff that I wish I had, man. Just hearing you say that, I'm a Marine, so I'm not worried about any man. But 6 of them make me concerned. That's gangster, dude. That's awesome, man. Thanks for your service. I got to, I was fortunate enough to get to go do some tours of just as a comedian. And we went to, I think I maybe did 5 or 6, trips overseas. And you go on those bases, boy, and look, Navy does their thing, Air Force does their thing, Army does their thing. But when the Marines show up, they go first. Marines go first, man. And it's just, impressive group. Let's hear more, bro. This sounds like it's not going well, bro. Those dudes want that $12 back. I mean, you got that policy. Let's hear more. No gas. Once you got gas in the can, that's yo can.
They ended up yelling at me for the gas can for a little bit more, and they bought like $400 of random gas station food shit and like a lot of lottery tickets. A fuck ton of them. They ended up leaving on their own. Oh,
lottery tickets. Yeah, if you're huffing gas, bro, you'll definitely, you'll take a chance to win $500,000, dude, by just scratching on something. Because if you're huffing gas, you usually used to scratching your skin. You'll scratch your own chest hair off. You'll have just a little, kind of bloody ball of fur and hair and skin. But, so yeah, lottery tickets, I mean, that's a methamphetamine. I mean, that's everything. That's a full-time job for a methamphetamine addict because they got the itch in them naturally, and now they're putting it to work for that chance at $50,000 paid over 100 weeks. Let's hear more.
Spent like $400, $500 on them, and they left, told me I was a fuck, and that was my weekend.
They left and told you were a fuck. That's hilarious, bro. Well, look, man, I commend you, dude, working in the, in a tough neighborhood in the ghetto. I mean, I don't know if it's the ghetto. You said it's a shady neighborhood, but I commend you, dude, because that's a tough area a lot of times. People out there, eating honey buns and drinking fucking diesel. You get a couple of, young soldiers hopped up on some 91 octane, and next thing you know, they want to fucking fist fight, and you just trying to mop. You just trying to fucking, you could just you got a brain, you just had a brain freeze because you're on your 9th slushy and you back there brain freezing trying to fucking push that hot mop around. And these Muppets are straight up, they come in all jawed up. One of them just lit a cigarette, forgot he's drinking gas, and now he's You know, now he's one of the flaming lips, and shit gets fiasco time, and everybody wants Fritos. Dude, it's savage out there, man, and I commend you for working on the front lines. That's the front lines of American war right there. The man that's working overnight, trying to make it through school, trying to learn about biology, and just fending off straight fucking night Muppets, trying to get that $12 back. Gang, gang, baby. Take care of yourself out there. Thanks for calling. I appreciate that, man. I remember, did I ever work at a gas station? No, one time my buddy got sick and he worked at a gas station and he's like, dude, I need you to take my shift. And I'd never worked there. And I went and I did it, man. You know, I think I stole about $30, dude. And I stole almost so many Otis Spunkmeyer cookies, dude. I fucking was sick. In the morning, dude, come sunrise, I was sick to my stomach. But that was fun. You know, those are the good old days. Let's take another call, man. What do we got here? Onward.
Hi, this is Ellen calling in from Virginia Beach, and this is some advice for Nicole who's dealing with an alcoholic boyfriend.
Oh yeah, we had we got a response from last week's call. This is for Nicole dealing with an alcoholic boyfriend. She called at the end of last week's episode.
My name is Nicole. I'm 34. My boyfriend is 40, and he's struggling really hard with alcoholism.
Let's hear more. Thanks for calling, Ellen.
Nicole, you're in a life or death situation right now, and this is what you need to do. You need to get on the phone, and you need to find a place where you can take your boyfriend where he can go through a medical detox. If he tries to do it by himself, he can have seizures. He can die from alcohol poisoning. He cannot do this alone. He needs a medical professional. And with that being said, he also needs to get to an AA meeting as soon as possible. There are intergroup numbers all over the country that you can call. And there are also apps where you can find the closest meeting to you. Have him get a sponsor, have him get the big book, have him do 90 meetings in 90 days, and get serious, get committed about your future with him if you still think that there is one. And let me tell you something. I speak from experience. I was living in Las Vegas for almost 3 years.
Ooh, that sounds hellish right there, boy. Las Vegas, dude, anything could happen out there. You know, you put it all on the table. You know, they got women wearing those hats with the feathers on them. You can get fucking, you know, you're like peacocks trying to fuck you because they think, you know, it's false advertising you're running around with on your dome. They got escorts, cocaine, bruh. And the cocaine's good because there's no humidity in the air. Cocaine will keep. Let me tell you that. That shit will keep out on a counter as long as the humidity's down. And you keep the air conditioner off and no ceiling fans, boy. Great way to end a cocaine party is somebody just fucking flipping on the fan switch. But let's hear a little more advice. Thank you for calling in about this, Alan.
3 years with a fighter pilot, and he was also a poker professional. And I had to leave. I left the relationship. It was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. To this day, I still cry about it. But I look back on it now, and I just think about where would I have been if I'd have stayed with him?
And that's the truth. You know, you got to think about yourself long term there. You know, she's calling with Laura had some issues last week. And look, Ellen, I know you're telling her you need to get this, you know, your man to a meeting and you need to get him to a professional. He needs to get himself. You know, and I'm not discrediting what you're saying. These are all great suggestions, Ellen, you know, especially from a woman that's been there. But he needs to get himself, and she needs to get herself some help. You know, she needs to get to some Al-Anon meetings, or she needs to get in a better place where, you know, there's codependency meetings. And these are suggestions. Look, I'm not a lady. You know, I never had a man that, you know, loved me and would just also maybe took advantage of my love because he wanted to do dope and not take care of himself. I never had that. But you know, but I know that you can't, you know, people will have to want to help themselves, and that you can only help so much. And when Nicole called in, she sounded really at her wit's end. So, but look, you heard it from another lady. Nicole, you got to start taking care of yourself and get that man in a detox, and he needs to take care of himself. Because if one of y'all ain't taking care of yourselves, then what's y'all going to do? Neither one of y'all's taking care of yourselves. You both going to figure it out? Fuck that. Fuck that. I'll be honest with you. Because look, I'll tell you what happened. I saw two mentally challenged people making out one time. at a stoplight, outdoors, not in a vehicle. And I called the police. And I regret it sometimes, but I could tell, man, I've spent time, dude. One of my best friends growing up had Down syndrome. I've spent time around, I've spent people that are mentally lit, some of God's favorites. I've been around, and some of them will fuck. Some of them want to party. They're just like us. They got that limbic system just like us. They got, the dirty, dark arts just dangling off the base of their spine and the base of their brain, that little brain stem, that thing's lit up with just, eggplant emojis and, little umbrellas with semen emojis hitting the top of them. And so they want to party just like us. And I could tell that these two at the stoplight they were thinking about sex. And so I called the police, and the lady said, well, why? What is this about? And I said, well, if those two people make a child, the chances of that child being comfortable and well in its own skin, probably not super great. And I know that's me jumping to conclusions. That might be me playing a little bit of, moderator in the universe. But it's just like, if they can't help themselves, if they're not in a place where they can be super well themselves, then they can only do so much together, those two people at that stoplight. And they can kiss and hug and pleasure each other and that kind of thing. But when it comes to, we're going to start something new together, we're going to start a small business, or we're going to make a child, I don't know. I don't know if that's the best move. And that's just where I see you at a little bit, Laura. And thank you, Ellen, for calling in and giving some suggestions to her. This is the first time we've ever had it. We have a video call that came in, and this is on Live Raise, and the link will be in our information below. And this is via their fan line. And Saturday I did a chat on Live Raise, and the cool thing about Live Raise is you can submit questions, video questions. So you can submit a question on there. When I'm on live, you can submit a question. It goes to the fan line. It's a video question where you can ask whatever you want, and then we can take those questions and we can put them onto the show. So I'll be going on next Saturday again, and you'll be able to get on there and submit video questions and get them onto the show. And we have our first one ever. And let's get to it right here. Here we go. You'll be able to hear it on the audio, and you'll be able to see it on YouTube. This is our first ever Live Raise video question via their fan line. Here we go.
Hey, Theo. Longtime fan. First.
Wow. And look, some of you guys heard that voice. You might think this man is a beautiful urban gentleman. That beautiful mahogany superhero. It's not. This boy, man, he looks like Chef Boyardee's kind of grandson a little bit. That, used to sell grams, but also makes a mean fucking ratatouille. You know what I'm saying? This boy looks like he looks like the real deal. Let's hear it. Here we go.
Hey, Theo. Longtime fan, first time caller.
God, what did he eat? Detroit, man? Dude, he has so much soul. He has so much sultry soul in his voice. Man. Yeah, let's hear more.
I'm just wondering, what's the right amount of shrooms to take when you go and see Joey Coco Diaz? I just saw him. I dropped an eighth.
Wow. Man, I'll say this. Joey Coco Diaz is there's nothing like him. It's like getting to be in the middle of a tornado, but the tornado is made out of joy and laughter and fun. And you know that Joey's heart is so good that no matter what he says, that it's edgy and fun and whatever, and you know it's real to him, but you know that his heart is good. So you know that he's joking. And it just hits you at a core of what's wrong with a lot of our world today. Is that everybody just goes on what people say but nobody's at all looking at where people's hearts are at. And you can tell it immediately. You could tell where people's hearts are. It's the easiest thing to tell. And Coco Diaz's heart it's in the right spot, baby. I mean, it's almost like, who's that John Wilkes Booth or something? Who's that famous designer? Guy that does buildings. Who draws buildings? Frank Lloyd Webber. It's almost like Frank Lloyd Webber designed exactly where to put Coco Diaz's heart. So everything in there is fun because he's coming from a place of good. And so no matter what he says, it's fun, and it's fun for everybody. And man, taking shrooms on it, whoo, I don't know. But you said, bro, you had fun, man. You guys got to see this guy. If you look at him on the YouTube, man, he's a beautiful guy. This guy's beautiful, and he went in there shroomed up. This sultry gentleman right here, he went in there shroomed up and got it done. I couldn't take any, but I'm glad you did, man. I'm glad you went there. I bet it's a beautiful way to see Diaz. Because it's almost like, when you're on mushrooms, you want to see something natural. You want to see something real that came out of the universe. You want to see something special. And Joey Diaz is the only comedian ever. I was talking with Joe Rogan about this the other day. The only comedian ever where I found myself standing out of my seat, cheering and laughing at the same time. Like it's fucking 1910 and a warship with my dad just came back to the shore in San Diego. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'd never done anything like that in my life. Out of my seat, cheering. What? And I was doing that, and I was living like that because he has a special gift. And Joe Rogan says this a lot. It's like, what is people's intention? That's what matters. What is somebody's intention? Because that's what's killing comedy. And the truth is, I don't think things are killing it anymore. I think you have guys like, you have guys who are funny with good hearts, who are out there fighting every day for comedy to be based on intention. And I think that it's coming back around. And that's why I follow, guys that I follow. And that's why I look up to guys that I look up to, because they're pioneers. This old shit of being offended by everything, that shit is done, bro. You want to live there? Then you choose to live there. That's a choice. Oh, somebody can't say this. People can say whatever they want. What's their intention? Look, you want to use a racial slur? Go use it, but go use it around that race. See how that works out for you. Dude, I grew up in the South, man. You want to drop an N-bomb around somebody that might have a different skin tone than you? You're going to learn really fast that that's not a comfortable choice. Because people know people's intention. Intention, man, that's what, and that's where I'm trying to live. And that's where these guys live, man. So Coco Diaz, I don't care if you saw him and you were on your last leg. I don't care if you out there, drinking bone marrow out of a can because you might not make it. Any condition you see him in, that's a beautiful condition. But that 1/8, boy, woo. That sounds good, bruh. That's what I like about them mushrooms, boy. When I used to eat them mushrooms, dude, you start fucking looking for yourself. And that's crazy because you are yourself. And that's a beautiful treat. Let's go to another call that came in. Thank you guys for calling. And thank you for that live raised fan line question. You can do those now. And so we just want to add another element to the YouTube where people can see what's going on. And that's live raised. You can check out their app, check them out through Instagram, and we'll have the link below. And that way on Saturday when I go live, I'll let you know when I'm doing that. I'll put it in my Instagram story. You can jump on there and submit a question. And I won't answer it then, but I will answer it on next Monday's episode. Here we go. Another follow-up call from last week's episode of this past weekend.
Yeah, this is Kevin from New Jersey calling about the dude who his sister, 19-year-old's banging the 39-year-old dude.
Yep. We had that call last week. The gentleman called. His sister was 19 and dating a 39-year-old.
So my sister is 19, and her boyfriend is 39 years old.
Wow. Onward.
I think for sure he needed to beat his ass. He needs to put a stop to that. That's definitely the dark arts. And just the fact he's got to call the hotline and ask for suggestions is kind of questionable, but.
Yeah, yeah. You would think for most people it is questionable, you know? Let's hear more, Kevin.
Anyway, that's it. Thanks, man.
You bet, man. Thanks for calling, bro. And that's how they handle it over there in New Jersey. That dude's doing that. You got to tighten that ass up on that dude. 39-year-old, you know, and he's staying up at night and just licking the freckles off of your 19-year-old sister's neck. Dude, I'd beat those freckles out of that man. I think I would, but then look. I look at my own life and I'm like, well, shit. My mother was 32 when I was born. My father was 70. So what is that? No, somebody should have probably whooped somebody's ass there, but then I don't even exist. You know, there's different sides to it. There's different worlds. And look, I don't think it was right, probably what my parents did, you know. I mean, I think my father was probably looking to, you know, create just more of a legacy, anything to keep him living, to feel like he was living more. And being virile as a senior, you know, when you spraying out and that spray is growing up and going to kindergarten, you know, that's got to make you feel, you know, voracious, and you can keep moving forward. But thank you for calling, Kevin. And shout out to everybody in Jersey, dude. People always look down on New Jersey for different types of shit, man. Fuck that. Jersey's the realest, bruh. You can't even get real in Manhattan anymore. You can't get mugged in Manhattan. Go on. Even the pigeons, bro. All the dopest pigeons are the ones that'll shit on you. They're all out in Queens now. They've been evicted. All the best pigeons that, you know, them carrier pigeons, every now and then you see a pigeon with a fucking gram of blow in its mouth. You know, one of them little freaking short baggies. You can't even see that in Manhattan anymore. That shit, so it's the elites. Elites only. That's what they should call Manhattan. You can't find you can't find a poor person in Manhattan. That's for rich only, bruh. You can come visit. You know, you could ride the big bus through the middle, that double decker. But if you can't get shit on by a real bird anymore. You can't even get stabbed in Manhattan. Dude, when I was the first time I went to New York, dude, I dropped a dildo in a damn bodega. And, you know, and shit got weird after that or whatever, before that. But that was Manhattan. You know, they had a dude jumped off a building back in the day when I was there. And they had a senior citizen lady out there with this skirt on. And she goes, "Did you see it?" And I'm like, "Did I see the guy?" She goes, "Did you see it?" I'm like, "Did I see what? The guy jump off the building?" And then she straight up showed me that bird holster, bruh. This lady just showed me her crotch out of the blue. And I was like, what? And that was New York. That was Manhattan. Now you want to get real, you better go into the boroughs. You better go in Brooklyn. That shit, it's real, but is it? You can't find any newsies out there. Where the newsies at? They're all out in Queens now. Bronx. Fat Joe country. They're all out in Hasbrook Heights. They're out there. They're out there in New Jersey. That's where they're at. All them real boys moving out. It's for the elites, bruh. Is it? Maybe I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Have you thought about that? Think about that as well. All right, let's get to another call here. Here we go.
Hey, what's going on, Theo? This is Rico here from Downey, California.
What's up, Rico, out there in Downey? And I've been out there by Downey before. I ran out of gas out there one time. And man, this is, you know, where I think it could have honestly was one of those people at a service station. You know, it could have been a man, could have been a woman. They were real, you know, they had a lot of dirt and, you know, smog had really heavily affected by the smog in their hair and everything and pores. So anyhow, a man or woman tried to climb in my sunroof, dude. And I was fending them out. And then all they wanted was a hit of my big gulp. So I fucking gave, you know, this person a hit of that big gulp. And then they gave it back to me. And then I'm like, well, what the fuck? I don't want it anymore. So, you know, I rolled down the window and gave it to him full. And so that's, I think, a lot of time a trick sometimes of, of these, I guess these are just kind of soda pop spies, really, because they spy and they see somebody hitting a big gulp and they come in through the sunroof. And then they get that sip, and then they know you're not going to want the rest of it. But anyhow, I got taken advantage of. Thank you for calling, Rico. Onward.
Just listening. I wanted to call in about our old boy who has a 19-year-old sister. Fuck, dating that, 39, 35-year-old man. I tell you what, man. I got a sister. She's almost 17 years old. And if I found out, she was dating some guy that was 39, I'd call him up. Hey, man, I need to see you, and we need to have a face-to-face, a man-to-man conversation.
There you go, right there. Now, that's a good point. That's a really good point. And this makes me think, too, even back to my own existence. My mother was 32, so that's different. This is a 19-year-old. My mother was 32, making at least 32-year-old female choices. Let's hear more.
And when he met me to have that conversation, look, I'm 23 years old. I meet him up. I tell him, hey, man, I'm trying my best. Everything in my body tells me to whip your ass right here, right now. Everything in my body wants to put a little jujitsu on your neck and snap that shit, brother.
Damn, boy. They change it, man. They switching up vertebrae, dude. Rico's about to play Jenga with somebody's vertebrae over there. Let's hear more.
Tell him, look, man, she's not even out of her teens yet, bro. Not even out of her teens yet. And you got some fucking old, saggy, bald, wrinkly fucking body, no hair, because he's losing it all, motherfucker, hollering at your little sister? No way. Tell him he'd never be welcome into the family. Don't tell him never to be comfortable around me. Don't ever be comfortable around me. And it's got to end. And you can't control her, and you can't control him. But let him know he will never be welcome in that family. In that family.
Wow. There you go. And I love that line that you said, you never be comfortable around me. Oh, that's a savage line right there. And that's a respect to a level of respect. And it's also showing up and it's showing respect. You're not whipping the dude's ass, but you're letting him know point blank, you do not ever be comfortable around me. And that brings me back, my sister and my brother used to live together for a little while. And my sister dated all kind of wild cats. And I think that just in our family, we've dated, we don't date well. And one time a man showed up and honked the horn. This man my sister was dating. And boy, my brother ran out there and he told that man to get the fuck out of there. He said, you're going to come and pick my sister up for a date. You're going to come in and you're going to come to the door and you're going to knock. And that was, that's the kind of thing that needs to happen. That's the kind of thing that needs to be done. As men, we have to, we have to embrace our sisters and we have to hold them up. We have to get out of our own lives sometimes, out of what's going on with us, and hold men that they spend time with accountable. Because my sister got she got really, abused and stuff like this by men that she dated. And I don't know. I don't know if I'm not trying to put her story out there or anything like that. Maybe she'll come on one day, but she got, and this happens to a lot of women out there. But, and I didn't know my sister then, we weren't close, but, as men, we have to do that. Sometimes we want to not get along with our sister, and that shit's fine. You can not get along with our sister. This is what I'm learning. But at the same time, I can still be a brother. I can still be a brother. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and he was saying that his father wasn't good to him. He goes, but just because my father wasn't good to me doesn't mean that I couldn't be a good son to him. Because I still have my own responsibilities. Because then years later, my father might leave the earth or whatever, and I'm sitting there thinking, wow, he was never good to me. And also I'm thinking, wow, I was never good to him. And sure, you could be like, oh, well, you know, you weren't good to him because he wasn't good to you. But that's where we all fuck up, or that's where I fuck up anyway. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said we all, because I don't know. I don't know other people's lives, but I know that's where I fuck up. When I think that because somebody did something to me, then I should do it to them. But no, what I do is who I am. And sometimes you show somebody enough love, you know, you show them what's real, and that's how they learn it. You think if somebody's a dick to you, you're a dick back to them, they're going to fucking learn anything else than being a dick? Sure, you got to be the bigger person, but that's, you know, I don't know, man. It's just, I don't mean to go, I don't know. I'm just like, I think about that shit with the president a lot, with Trump. You know, like, I think, I've never been a political man. You know, I think I've never trusted any of these politics. I think we have some of the same problems, and I think the problems are us. I think the problems are humans. I think we're getting in this world right now where there's a lot of humans that don't want to they're not even doing anything. Some people ain't doing nothing. And you got other people that want to do something, that want to move, that want to do stuff. And I think sometimes it's like, but you have these networks and these people that just hate Donald Trump so much. I'm like, what are you teaching this man? What are you teaching him? And I don't hate him. You know, I think he's an egomaniac. I think all politicians are. There's no way you get into that. I don't think first of all, you have to have a big ego. And that can be okay. But that can also be extremely fucking dangerous, bro. The ego, it reminds me of that volcano in Hawaii. That thing's always trying to sneak lava out the side. You know, you think there's nothing that scares me more than ego. It scares me every day I wake up. Scared that my brain is going to trick me into thinking certain things about myself that are not going to be good for me. But I think that about, you know, it's just like so much hatred. Like, who's solving anything with all that shit? All of that shit, man. You know, it's just like, does anybody really hate somebody as much as all these news are? It's just like, really? Go to fucking work. None of these politicians have ever affected my life. Ever. I never even seen any of them. I don't think. I thought I saw one of them one time at the airport. I don't know who it was. Onward. What else, man? Thanks for calling, Rico. Let's hear a little, let's take another call here. This is Dalton.
Hey, Theo. It's Dalton from Virginia.
Wow, that's a wild name, Dalton, bro. I never heard of it before. And that's a risky name, too, if somebody call you Dolt. You know, because that don't mean, you know, that means not super, you know, keen to what's happening. But whatever, bro. Fuck yeah. That's a great name, dude, because now you're changing that shit. You know? That's like, you know, saying my name's Skimpy. And people are like, are you Skimpy? You're like, nah, baby, I'm fucking thick. You're like, oh, okay. So Skimpy's doing something different with it all. Let's hear more, Dolt.
This is in response to The Secret, the gentleman who wrote in.
I'm a 31-year-old secret. At the time I was conceived, my gay mother was doing coke with my birth father. She wanted a kid. He was married with kids already, but my mother promised him that I'd be kept a secret. 31 years later, still a secret. Would you seek these people out if you were me?
But on to that, I just wanted to share a little quick personal thing that happened, part of my family. Not real close to my family, but I just know the story. My dad's brother, married 20, 30 some years, 3, 4 kids. One day got a knock at their door, and it was a lady, about 28 years old, who was like, you know, I think you might be my father. And so just showed up out of nowhere. They sat down and kind of went through the timeline, and, you know, sure enough, we had been traveling at some point, you know, however, 28 some years ago, and had gotten a lady pregnant over, I guess, in Japan or something like that.
Damn. That's wild, man. And look, I'll be honest, it would be hard to go to Japan and probably not try to bust a nut somewhere. Think about that. I mean, I remember being young and I was traveling around a good bit, and I would want to bust nuts on all these continents, And I remember one night falling asleep thinking I'm gonna bust a nut on all 40 fucking continents. And then I get up in the morning and there's only 7 continents or 9. And I'm like, wow. I was just gonna be jerking off in like 31 other places for no reason. I mean, that would have been crazy. You're out in fucking Guam beating off and people are like, what are you doing? You're like, I'm settling this land. I got a score to settle with Earth. So, but that's something impressive, man. That's something impressive, that she just showed up. That had to be a long fucking lunch, boy. What if your dad had just settled down to a sandwich? He made himself his favorite sandwich. The game is on. His fucking favorite game. And then he gets that doorbell ring. He opens it, and it's somebody that in his eyes and in his soul, he knows immediately, man, I know her from somewhere, even if he's never met her. And bam, bruh, you got a bonus child. That's crazy. That's crazy. I had a girl reach out to me on Facebook a few years ago, 2 years ago, and she said that we could be half siblings. And we talked on the phone once, and I might try to look her back up, and I've never met her. And maybe she would actually come on here. That'd be a neat guest to have. That would be a super neat guest. But Dalton, let's hear a little bit more. Here we go.
However, 28-some years ago, and had gotten a lady pregnant over, I guess, in Japan or something like that. But it messed things up for a little bit. People were a little weird for maybe a day or two. But that's not that long if you think about it. And she's a great part of the family now. I know they have her over all the time. She has a kid too that they treat, just like one of the grandkids from the beginning. It's a fantastic thing now. I know that's a little bit different of a situation, but maybe that experience helped you guys out. I guess you really just never know until you do something about it.
Yeah. That's a great point, man. Look, and people, I think, there's that hiccup in the beginning, usually with most things, but then most people want to love. Most people want other people in their life. I think about sometimes I would give anything to have a brother or a sister that was really young, like a 9-year-old. So, that was a 9-year-old right now. Just to see them be alive and just for me to have that experience and watch them be a human and become a human. And, I see it some with my nieces and nephews, and that's fine. But it would be really neat to have it as like a brother or a sister, a younger child where I could be a sibling to them in some facet, in a part of their life in some way. Man, that would be, there's just such a blessing, I think, in having children and creating that thing. And you don't even realize, I think when you create a family, you don't even realize probably a lot of the gifts that you're going to create moments that those siblings are going to have between each other that you can't even fathom. You won't even be there to witness, but there'll be beautiful moments. And that's awesome that, somebody showed up at the door. That's that long knock. And you think it's a pizza delivery, and damn, that's that DNA delivery. Is that's DNA Giorno, bruh. That's at the door, bruh. And that's forever. And that's family, bruh. You got an extra large straight up family, dude. Gang, bruh. Where them 2-liter colas at? Remember that? They used to get you on that shit. Pizza Hut. No, Domino's. You'd be like, we got that 2-liter soda. Bro, I remember this one dude, one time we ordered a bunch of pizza to this party, and he came out, he'd been drinking, delivering pizzas, and he skirted off the road because the road was fucking super dangerous. It wasn't even a road. It was just like a place where people would try to drive down it and basically just mostly almost die, and sometimes really die. And this dude slipped off into the woods. Next thing you know, he's at the door, and he's bleeding and stuff like that, and a couple people kept talking to him at the front door, and calling 911 and stuff, and then some other people went around to his car and got the pizzas out. He had like 9 pizzas because this dude was, back in the day, you would leave once and you might be out there delivering for 4 hours. And he also had a bunch of 2-liter sodas that were just spraying everywhere because they'd been in the car accident. And so they were spraying everywhere. So that's one thing that was kind of a beautiful treat about them sodas, is that you could shake them up and you had a little party right there. And you could spray half of it and drink half of it. And that's kind of nice. Let's hear another call. Here we go.
Hey, Theo. It's Alex from Kentucky. I was just calling to comment on the guy who wrote in last week saying that he was a secret, and I want him to know that he ain't alone out there, that I myself was also a secret. My mother and a guy hooked up whenever they were young, had me, and then the guy, like I said, they were just kids, and the guy kind of ran away or whatever. She moved back to Kentucky with me, and met up with who I always thought was my dad, my real dad. I had a little sister who was 5 years younger than me. I never thought anything other until I got the age of about 13. And, of course, small town gossip. The man who raised me wasn't my real father.
Wow. And that's a wild rumor to hear around town. Because, I remember hearing shit like, there's a man that sleeps, outdoors at night without a tent. And I remember hearing shit that, somebody was crossbreeding animals. And you would hear stuff like, there's a woman they had a woman that kept like a rare coin. She had a wig and she would keep a rare coin under it. And so we would always be plotting on ways to get that wig off and, get that treasure. But to hear that, that you got a different family, that's a unique rumor. Let's hear more.
And then right at about that same time, he passed away, wrecked a semi-truck and died.
Damn. That's sad, man. That semi-truck, bro. Those things are fucking dangerous. You get hit by that shit or anything, man, you're fucked up. And they're square in the front. Mostly. Remember the old ones were just straight up square. They didn't even have a nose on them? What the fuck, man? But I'm sorry to hear that, bud. I'm sorry to hear that.
I finally reached out. I have 3 sisters, other than the one I was raised with, and 2 brothers. And I'm the oldest of all of them. They're great people. I finally went up there and met them. Got to hang out with them and everything. I never met the dad or whatever. Mike's his name. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Well, look, there you go. You never know. You never know when, and that's a gift. It's a gift. So your family gets bigger and your heart gets bigger and it's a little more unique. It's the same thing with thinking. It's the same thing when, you had an 8-box and now you got that 64 hitter, somebody showed up. And you got fucking new family. You got new senior citizens. They got pets. Look at little Marco, the fucking Chichen Itzas. You got it all. And everything changes. And that's it, man. Sometimes we get so stuck we don't want to change. And that's one thing, man, I swear to God, dude, I've been thinking about the past couple of days. I'd never thought, just going on a Joe Rogan's podcast and thinking about, and I'm not trying to keep name dropping that. it shook me. I just woke up the next day thinking, wow, what if there's different universes? And what if you met yourself? Would you like yourself? And just my mind was a little more open. And your heart's a little more open when you get that kind of thing, when you get that new family member. Thank you for calling in, man. Let's hear a little, let's hear this, dude. All right, we got this write-in that came in, and this is a text that came into the hotline. Hey, Theo, my name is Zach from Houston. Shout out H-Town. I'm 20. I'm texting from the hotline because I'm having brain surgery on Monday the 21st. I probably should have said procedure because surgery sounds aggressive, but it's not major brain surgery. They ain't cracking my skull open or anything. They're going through my artery to shoot some glue to make this thing stop growing. Damn, I don't know what's growing in your head, bro, but if it ain't ideas or hope, then it's probably pretty painful. And I'm sorry to hear that, dude. And I appreciate you telling me about this. I don't understand it, but the doctors do, so I'm going to trust them. That's huge. That's huge to trust others. That's big, man. That's a very adult move, man. You say you're 20? That's a very adult move. Because you sitting there just so scared and concerned, and because you don't trust them, that I can only imagine how painful that would be. And so for you to put trust into them, that's very huge, man. I'm going to trust them. The thing is I'm nervous about is forgetting things or having a stroke, which could happen. It's rare, but it happens. I'm not afraid to die, so I kind of hope I die instead of have a stroke or be disabled. Man, that's brave of you, dude. Yeah, sometimes, yeah. Because, look, you might come right back. God might need you right back. Right back Zach. You might be that dude right back Zach. That you live for 20 years and you pop right back. And they need you somewhere else. We need Zach over here. We need him in Wisconsin. We need him in Houston again. You know, we need Zach and Zaire. Like, people are like, damn, Zach and Zaire. You know, you might have, that might be for you. That might be God's plan for you, bro, or the higher power's plan for you. Whatever you want to think, whatever you want to call it, that's fine. People get skirtish on the God thing. That's 3 letters, baby. That's just the quickest way to say you know what I'm saying. Is something else out there, pushing the pieces, playing the chessboard. But yeah, man, let me read a little bit more. So in case I forget something, I can read this and jog my memory. You really funny. Keep up the podcast and stand up and hope that show gets picked up on Comedy Central. Man, that's so nice of you, dude. You know, here you are, you know, and he sent this. This came in yesterday. And here you are, you know, you might be on your way out. And you're thinking about me, man. Thank you. You know, when you're thinking about us, you're not just, I know you're thinking about a lot of people, but, you know, you wanted to say you're funny and keep up the podcast and stand up. And I will, man. And look, and I'll be looking out for you. If you go to heaven, man, we'll be looking out for you on the flip side. That's right back, Zach. And if you don't go, then when I come to Houston, man, come out and be my guest, please. And look, I might make you laugh so hard, you might have a stroke then, bro. How crazy would that be, dude? Oh, this is so fucked up. I shouldn't be thinking about this. But we love you, bro. Thanks for reaching out, dude. You have a lot of people thinking about you. You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay either way. You're going to be okay either way, man. You sound like you got a huge heart. Okay, and all these calls come out of the hotline, and that's 985-664-9503. Anybody can hit the hotline with responses, suggestions for people, or issues that you're dealing with. If there's anything you're trying to, you know, you're struggling with, you know, or anything you want to think about. But yeah, if there's something you're struggling with, man, you got something in your heart, you got something in your feelings, man, get it out there. You know, don't keep that inside of you by yourself, you know, because that's what's fucking us. Is that we're just afraid to feel, man. We're afraid to be vulnerable. And I am too. You know, and we do it here together. So let's take this next hit here. Bang.
Hey, Theo. You know, long-time listener, first-time caller here. I heard you say on the Joe Rogan podcast that where you lived in Louisiana, there was a lot of magic mushrooms growing naturally.
Oh, yeah, boy. Oh, yeah.
I was just wondering if you could, you know, maybe follow up on that. How do you identify those mushrooms? Is there like a taste process where maybe it's not like a psilocybin mushroom? So maybe you eat a little bit of shit on accident to try and test it to see if you'll get those effects.
Damn, bro. This sounds like you calling like a 1-900 number. Like this is like some kind of sex line or something for about mushrooms. Like you want me to just like, oh yeah, baby. So what happened was I would take my shoes off, you see, and run out into that damp grass. And right there on the soil, you'd see a big old areola of cow dung. Man, that thing was shining and glistening. And right off the top of it, you would see a beautiful Mexico Murremo. And that is Latino, brother, for magic mushroom. You know what I'm saying? That David Copperfield that's going to give you them floppy feels, bruh. Man, you had them magic mushrooms. Dude, what do you mean? I ain't out there eating shit, bruh. This ain't a Japanese game show, daddy. This was young bucks out there. And dude, it looks like a magic mushroom. Google that bitch before you just run around a field with your mouth open. Because 96.7% of mushrooms are killers. Okay, that's why when you get that special 3%, it's magic. If you just getting them killers and you snacking on killers, you're going to fall apart. So get out there and get that hitter, man. Get the real thing. And it's beautiful white stem and it's so just succulent looking. I mean, it looks like somebody just poured a tall glass of milk. That's how white the stem is. And then it's got this dirty little skirt, but the skirt doesn't even go down. It just goes straight out on the side. Around the stem, it's just this beautiful little purple skirt. And that's where the fucking magic is, boy. And that's where you feel the fucking Lord just licking the back of your neck. When you get those hitters, bro. We ain't out there eating shit, dude. You being wild, boy. You being wild. But thank you for calling, man. Thank you for calling. You want that one? Yeah, and then we put them in our mouths and everything changed. And the world just started, and just the clouds just started dripping out of the sky. And we were catching the drops in our mouths and spitting them on each other's backs. What you want to hear, man? What do you want to hear? Okay, let's take another call or two. Here we go.
Hey, what's up, Theo? This is Jesse. I live out here in Silver Lake. I'm a storyboard artist on Bob's Burgers. So I was at LA Fitness a couple weeks back. Got in there pretty early before work started.
Get in there. More?
So I was finishing up my workout, and I go and get in the shower, and
damn, you took a shower at LA Fitness, dude? Man, that's hectic, baby. More?
They have those soap dispensers that are up on the wall, about 4 feet or so off the ground, and they're clear so you can see inside to the soap.
And what was in it, dude? Semen?
I go and put my hand up underneath it because I'm about to get a couple squirts and lather up.
Damn, dude, you might want to talk to the mushroom, dude. I feel like both you guys trying to meet each other. More?
And I see something's in there, so I look a little closer, and lo and behold, there is a 14-inch, fully intact turd.
Ooh! Ooh! Wow, I didn't expect that, man. Somebody put a turd in the straight up hand soap dispenser? Ooh, that is an archaic move, bro. That's old school, man. That's back in the, I mean, that's like something you would do like, that's like that old Trojan horse, bro. You think you getting soap and then, but damn, boy. That's just, you got that, you got that feces, you think you getting soap and then bam, boy, you got them fecal paws, bro. And that's just, that's pink eye waiting to happen. That's pink eye country you're flirting with. More?
Sitting in the soap dispenser, and it was pretty shocking. I didn't put the soap on my body.
You lie, bro. You are lying. And look, I love you, man. I appreciate you calling, Jesse, but you have to say that. You can't sit here and tell us the truth, man. Dude, we know what happened. There's no way you went the first time and then put it all. It's the second time you went back when you saw that fucking hitter. When you saw some dude drop that booty hitter into that soap dispenser. My God, I've never heard of this. Bro, where is the FBI? Where's the FDA? More?
I went out there, told the maintenance man that there was shit in the soap dispenser, and he basically stopped me mid-sentence and told me that it's been happening often and that they have a serial shitter. So figured I'd run that one by you and see if you've ever come across any dumps in any weird locations or taken a dump yourself.
Oh, that's a good question, man. Have you ever taken a dump yourself in a weird locale? Well, a lot of people know this. You know, I used to talk about this, or I've told this story. When I was growing up, they had a boy in my neighborhood, and he, named Mario, and he was Italian, bro. Or he said he was anyway, or his parents just pretended he was and named him Mario. And he was even named, I remember, after Super Mario, I think, the video game. So that's bizarre. But anyhow, he would, make poops in his yard and make me bury him so I could hang out with him. Because that was the only way he let me hang out with him. If when he did feces in the yard, I had to, I had this little beach shovel and a little pail, and I had to bury him in there for him. And so I did it. I didn't know any better. I was a child, and I was wearing overalls. My mother always had me in overalls and shit. So I probably, in these little what are those hippie kind of sandals? Not hippie, but they're like, fucking, I don't know, man. They're like they're leather, and they look like, almost like indentured servants would wear them. They are Cumberland or something. sandals. Fuck, I don't know. They're fucking sandals, bruh. And then, so I would wear these wild little sandals with these overalls. So I probably look like I should be burying shit. So that if somebody drove by and saw me out there, you know, hiding these fucking little body bats, they weren't thinking that I was a bat. You know, they probably like, oh yeah, you dress like that, you deserve to be fucking burying dukes. And this kid, Mario, would make me bury all his shits behind this dude. And so it got repetitive. He was shitting all the time. So I've never had anything like that. I never had anybody poop in a soap dispenser, but I have had people, you know, shit for fun in different places. And you know, I was kind of, you know, had a service commitment, you know, at that boy's yard. But then years later, he died. He drove a bass boat into an embankment on, you know, allegedly on drugs, and, you know, rest in peace. And I actually wrote his parents a letter and told them about that, you know, and told them what had happened back in the day. And I miss, you know, and he was a wild boy. He had the wildness in him. You know, sometimes he had something extra going on in him. He just had like a special energy. You know, he had a special energy. And he was into some of the dark arts, I think. And but anyhow, they buried him, I'm guessing, and they didn't let me be a pallbearer. And that kind of pissed me off, you know, and a little bit somewhere in my head, I had a resentment. Because I'm like, man, these people fucking put that boy in the ground, and they didn't let me do it. Because nobody's put more of that boy in the ground than this boy right here. You know, and God rest his soul, man. But, yeah, sorry that's happening, dude. There's people shitting in soap dispensers, dude. That's what happens, bro. That's what happens when you don't trust the government anymore. You know, that's what happens when when the Democratic Party railroads their own candidates. That's what happens when a 70-year-old man, Bernie Sanders, who gave his whole life to politics, gets fucked out of his own fucking nomination. That's what happens in this world, bro. Onward. Let's hear more.
Theo Vaughn, Noel from Los Angeles. Great job on the Joe Rogan podcast. Royal wedding was today. It was this morning, early this morning. It's late. I'm getting out of work. I'm a bartender in Santa Monica. You can come anytime you want. I'm also sober like you, but I bartend because I make money.
Thanks for calling in, Noah. Yeah, the royal wedding was this weekend. More?
Listen, about the royal wedding, it's a big deal. My wife was telling me all about it. You got the black girl. She's half white, half black. You know, she's going to be in the royal family. It's a big deal. She's American. It's all these first times for everything. But I want to say, like, if you really want to be different, and you're Prince Harry who looks like a ginger, marry another ginger. Like, I got a buddy, he's a black guy, he's in all these commercials with a white wife and the mixed kid. The mixed thing is like, that's in right now. If you really want to be like a trailblazer and you're a red and you're a ginger, marry us another ginger. Keep the gingers going.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's true. Keep the gingers going, dude. That's a great point. Yeah, it's like, you want to be wild, do something that's out of the norm, that's not being seen. You know, marry somebody of your own style even. I'm not saying that don't interracial marry. I'm not saying any of that. But I'd love to see a big sister and a Japanese boy. Where's that at? You know, I'd love to see a blonde-haired, blue-eyed gal and a thick and a Rubenesque Korean fella. You know, I'd love to see that mix. But I'd also like to see that ginger on ginger. Would they even allow that? If you saw two gingers kissing at a stoplight, would you call the cops? Yeah, it's like, I agree. It's like, you know, we want different always changes. What's different always changes. And yeah, now it's like you see so many commercials where the family is also mixed. And I think it's good for advertising because you want everybody to feel, you know, you don't want a kid to watch a Disney World commercial or Disneyland commercial. I've talked about this before and see only white people at Disneyland. Or only what, you know, certain types of people, or only wealthy people at Disneyland, or only Asian people at SeaWorld, or only, you know, black people at, you know, where, you know, I'm trying to think of, or at Essence Fest. You know, you want everybody to feel welcome, especially via advertising. But yeah, you want to do something wild, do something really brave. You know what I'm saying? You only got one eye? Marry somebody with with two eyes. Or you got two eyes, marry somebody with fucking three eyes. Or half a dick. You know, do something different. You're not gay? Marry somebody with a dick. That's different. Do some unique stuff. Yeah, because sometimes the same old stuff is the same old stuff. Make that, you got an 8 box? Let's get that 64. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got one titty, fucking find somebody that's magenta. Let's make a real wild family. But ginger on ginger, dude, would they even allow it? These are the questions we're asking, man. These are the hard hitters. Oh, what else, man? I feel like we've done a pretty good job this week, man. Okay, yep. All right, we're going to take one more question here. Here we go.
Hey, Theo. This is Rob in Georgia, man.
What's up, Rob in Georgia? Thank you for calling, man. Beautiful state you have there.
I'm just listening to this Nicole Arbor podcast. As always, excited to see a new episode up. Anyway, I'm only 20 minutes in, and I can't help but notice you seem kind of hostile, man. Were you having a bad day when you interviewed her? Do you genuinely not like this woman? I just want to get your thoughts on that and wonder why you were feeling like that.
Thanks for calling, Rob. It was interesting having Nicole Arbor in. I think that she's a funny lady. I think she's an entertainer. I think, I'm not going to have somebody on the podcast because, there's this general thing in the air where people don't like them. Would I have Satan on? Yeah. Because you know why? I got a question for Satan. You think I'm sitting around with 0 questions for Satan? You're wrong. And I'm not comparing Nicole to Satan or anything. Like, look, I think Nicole's attractive. I think that she's funny. I just didn't. The thing was, man, honestly, and this took me an extra day or two to think about, and this is the last that I'll talk about this, is that I don't know if she's genuine. And that's what that's what made me feel uncomfortable. I don't believe that she is genuine. And I could be wrong, and I'm happy to be wrong, but I didn't feel it. And I felt uncomfortable. And so it was tough. It was tough. I try to make it an interesting conversation. But, I feel like she's constantly kind of in this PR world, and I don't like that world that much. I like something that's really real. If I can get real, and some days it's hard, man. Some days we don't fucking feel real. But there's times we can, if we those are special times these days. I feel like that. But yeah, I have that on that, man. So yeah, we've had a lot of great calls. I appreciate that call. We've had a lot of great ones this week. And I just appreciate you guys being in here with me, and just helping me. I'm just happy to be here, and I'm happy that you're here. And we got some cool dates coming up on the road. I'm gonna try to keep my brain thinking this week. I'm gonna try to not stay in my small cage sometimes. I'm gonna try to maybe think, if I talk to somebody that I don't know if I agree with, or it's only gonna help me. It's only gonna help me. But if I stay too close to my template in my brain, then you can be kind of limited. You can be kind of limited. You're going to be limited to your yard. You're going to be in your fishbowl. Sometimes you got to fucking hop out and land in another tank. And that's okay, because you can always get back into your bowl. But that's one of the things that I took away from being on Joe's show, and that's one of and he makes me feel welcome, and you're welcome. Anybody is welcome here. Anybody is welcome here. And if we can't figure out why you're not, man, we'll figure it out. Or you only have some of those. How does that work?
They're like, say you got one of the diamonds,
mm-hmm.
and it turns like cards. So you can pick the one you need, and you'll latch it to where it'll show what it is, an oxidizer, or it's a organic peroxide or radioactive or poison. It'll have that on there.
I see. So it's all built into there.
Yeah.
And do you adjust this, or does the company, whenever you take off with the load, how does that work?
We find out what it is
mm-hmm.
that we're hauling first, and they usually will explain it on your bill of ladings, and it'll tell you what to put on there, which placard you have to have, because you got to have it shown in 4 places, which is the trailer, both sides, and the doors.
Because DOT will pull you over, right?
Oh, yeah. They get happy with that shit. They sometimes they get bored.
Oh, I'm
looking
sure.
for some. I had an asshole one time pulling into a way station, literally, and he's standing out there. First time I'd ever seen this, and he kind of looks like just this little short shit,
like Elmer Fat.
Yeah,
kinda.
ugh. He's thumping everybody's tires as you're pulling in. I was like, okay, I'm cool. I'm good. Comes up to me and he's
And what
like,
is he doing? Hitting them for what? Seeing if there's cocaine,
Air.
like drugs in them?
to make sure that they're aired up.
Oh, okay.
Well, I guess what? I had a fucking flat.
No.
Yeah, drive tire. Didn't even know it. What happened was, as I was pulling in, I ran over a freaking bolt as big as my thumb.
Oh, damn.
So, but it wasn't even hot yet, because when I pulled in and he's showing me, the tire's wiggling off the rim, and I'm sitting there just ready to just scream. So I was like, fuck, hell here, and he's like, well, you can't leave till you get it fixed. So I'm calling the shop, and I'm letting them know what's going on, and one of them throws a fit.
One of the guys you work for?
Yeah, I was like, what am I supposed to do?
Damn.
Radar every damn thing on the road today.
Yeah.
I didn't see
We
it.
gotta-
Next time I'll dodge the nails and bolts,
We got a bolt at 12:20. Yeah.
No, but got it fixed and rolled on. They didn't give me no ticket or nothing. They can be assholes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. And do you find a lot of the officers and stuff that you encounter out there, a lot of them are men or women? Was it kind of mixed out there?
What, the police officers? They're mostly men.
Yeah.
Mostly men.
And do they give you think, a different type of interaction because you're a female, or no, you think?
It's mixed, because I actually got pulled over in Sellersburg, Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
Had a woman in front of me, kept hitting her brakes. And when you're in the truck and you're doing 65 miles an hour, maybe 67, you don't want to be behind somebody that doesn't know where the hell they're going.
Yeah.
You run right over top of them. Speed bump.
Yeah.
And
like in Mario Kart.
yeah,
kinda.
no shit. And anyways, I'm, keep getting up on her ass, and I'd back off. She'd stop, and I'd get on her ass again and back off. And we're all rolling. It's kind of busy. We're coming around this, I guess you'd call it like the crossover there, the bridge like.
Mm-hmm.
There's a cop sitting there. And I had just changed lanes to keep from hitting this woman into the hammer lane.
What is a
from the
hammer
middle.
lane?
That's the fast lane.
Okay.
You're in the middle lane, and I went to go avoid her, and when I went back into the middle lane, he's seen it. He pulls me over. And I was like, well,
And how are you looking when he pulls you? Are you looking pretty good?
I was trying to maintain. I'm like, hi, how are you?
Mm-hmm.
Come on in, have a seat. I was all grinning and shit. And then he's telling me what I did. And I was like, yeah, I said I was trying not to hit her. I said, she kept hitting her brakes. And he's like, I seen that. I was like, okay. You seen it, so.
And what's going on? This ain't Bumble.
The lips starting to curl. And
Yeah.
he's like, well, you was in the wrong lane. Trucks are not allowed in the hammer lanes. You can't go in the fast lane. And he was following too close. Plus, she was doing 67, but I'm not gonna get you for that.
But is that true that you can't? What do you mean you can't go in the fast lane? You're supposed to stay in the right lane.
Trucks are not allowed in the passing lane in the fast lane. It's usually the middle or the slow lane.
So that's if there's 3 lanes.
Right.
Okay.
Now, if there's 2 lanes, you can go in either one.
Okay, but if there's 3, you're not supposed to get into the far left lane.
No.
Ever.
No. I actually got a ticket, not a warning, a ticket in Bartow, Georgia.
Did you deserve it?
It was my fault. I was in that damn lane.
Yeah, amen. Yeah, it's hard to do.
But at the same time, there was an asshole Volvo driver.
Ugh.
Okay, he's in the middle lane.
Story of my life.
He's
dude.
driving up the hill, right? He's taking his dear sweet time.
Taking his time, dude. Yeah.
Slow
Probably
lanes
Ameritrading
packed.
on his phone.
I'm getting pissed.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you know what? I was like, fuck this. And I got over and got in the hammer lane, started flying up the hill, right? Well, this peckerhead decides he's going to speed up. So we're both racing nose to nose up this hill. We get top of the hill. There's a state trooper in the median. Lights immediately go on. I looked over at that fat guy. I wanted to shoot him in the face. I was just aggravated. I was like, fuck. So I knew he was coming. As soon as I seen them lights come on, I was like, okay, that's it. I'm done.
Yeah.
So I backed off. I let the fat man go. I got over into the slow lane in the shoulder. The cop comes over. He's a younger guy. He's all buff and big, and he's got an attitude. Because he opens the door, and he's looking at me like, well, you gonna say something or what? And I was like, He's like, you know why I pulled you over? I said, yeah, probably because I was in that damn hammer lane over there. And he goes, yeah, it's clearly marked that trucks are not allowed. I said, but I was trying to pass that fat guy in the Volvo.
He didn't care?
Hell no.
He wrote you up.
He
huh?
wrote me a ticket.
Nice.
He's like, you got to pay this.
Come on.
And I called him the day that I got the ticket. And I was like, can I go ahead and pay this now and get it all, get it off my back? And no, it's not even in the computer yet, honey. You're going to have to wait.
Isn't that so ridiculous? Like, you got to wait in line. And they try to get you, I think, so you'll forget about it, kind of.
Yeah, so they can find you some more.
Yeah. You got to wait till it snows. License. One time they told me you got to wait till it snows. You can't pay it till it snows outside. I'm like, what in the fuck is even going on?
What the fuck does that got to do with anything?
Yeah, I need to pay this damn ticket.
Who gives a shit what it's doing outside? I want to pay this.
We got a question from a caller right here. This isn't live, just so you know. This is a video someone sent in. Let's take this question here for Ginger.
What up, Theo? This past weekend, what up, female trucker guest? Wanted to ask, do you ever cut people off out of revenge? I see it all the time on the road. I feel bad. You guys get cut off a lot. My wife's cut you guys off. Okay. She felt bad about it. But yeah, we know there's a lot of road rage, especially here in California, Central Valley, California. We love you over here, by the way. Okay. But yeah, do you cut people off out of revenge? Gang, gang. Honk, honk.
There you go, Ginger. You're on the hot seat right now.
I'll be straight up honest about that. I've wanted to. And there's times when it's like, I'm going to show you.
Oh, some little rich bitch in a damn...
Oh, no. Sometimes it's other semi-trucks.
In a damn Lexus, or whatever.
And it gets kind of scary sometimes. And
oh, it's other semis.
Yeah. It's cars as well. Semi-trucks. It's not like it used to be. So
because when I was growing up, I always felt like there was a strong sense of camaraderie. I grew up in my neighborhood. Everybody had like a ham radio, or what is it called? CB.
Like a CB radio? Yeah.
So my mom used to date women that had date men that had CBs, and so we always had CBs around. Everybody in our neighborhood had a CB in their car.
Yeah.
So sometimes if you weren't doing anything, you just go sit in your car and just talk to people going by on the interstate.
It's not like it no more.
And it would seem like there was a lot of camaraderie between the truckers out there. It's not.
You could actually be coming up on traffic. It's stopping, back bumper to bumper. All you see is brake lights. And you'll get on the radio and be like, hey, has anybody got their ears on? Let me know what's going on up there. Well, can't you read the goddamn sign? It was only about 10 miles back. And it's like, shut the fuck up. I just ask a simple question, and it starts getting heated.
Really?
So, yeah. And I told Jeffrey, I said, my son, I got the benefit, It's like I've been in the truck before and honestly be holding the steering wheel, I got the power, and turn it off.
Oh, you can just shut it down.
Yeah. I have to listen to you, bitch. I'll turn this thing off. Yeah. And it's people are rude. Just rude.
So there's not a sense of camaraderie. There's not as much of a sense of camaraderie.
It's almost cutthroat anymore. And I didn't see that when I was a kid, when my dad was driving. Because back then we were allowed as kids, me and my two brothers, we would climb in the back seat of the back bed of the pickup truck, ride down I-65 to Deems Lake in Indiana, go swimming and stuff, and get back in the in the pickup and ride back. Do all this to all these trucks. Hey,
it was part of life. Yeah.
You don't hardly see that anymore. And then people cutting you off all the time. But no, you got to think of it. My teacher told me this when I was in school. Every vehicle, whether it's a semi, a car, motorcycle, whatever, picture little kids in it. So that gets drilled in your head. Like, it's almost like a mental picture you have right off the bat.
But if them little kids is assholes, if they're on their Kindles.
Oh, yeah. I've seen them, and like pick their nose, throw boogers at, they can be mean. But most of the time, the little kids are just got the little fist going, and you're just laying on. I've scared the shit out of bus drivers.
Oh, yeah?
That's fun.
It is?
Yeah.
What kind of bus are you talking? Are we talking Greyhound or are we talking just...
School bus.
Oh, yeah, anybody could do that.
With little kids. You got a whole row of little kids all grinning at you, staring out the window. You're riding right alongside of them, and you're a woman too, so little kids, kind of just little more.
Yeah.
And I'm just giving that horn hell, entertaining them, and the whole time the bus driver's like, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. I was like, oh, sorry, going past her, waving. And then finally she right up alongside of you, she'll toot her horn. Yeah. The kids are having a ball, so.
Do some trucks have better horns than others? Actually, let's go to this question. We got a question right here that came in from a fellow that's staying safe.
Sup, Theo Vons, Brother Mal, Real Nick Davis. This is Jordan from up in Portland. Sorry about the face mask. My server's about to be here to take my order. Got a question for the truck driver. This signal here, do you recognize that? When I was a kid, we used to do it all the time to get the semi-truck drivers to honk their horns. Do you see that anymore? I haven't really seen kids doing that these days. I haven't done it, so let me know. Thank you for your service. Appreciate you. Gang, gang.
Gang.
That's
yeah, we
sweet.
don't see a lot of, I'm not on the roads that much.
Right.
So when I used to drive to comedy club, have to drive around to them and stuff, I would be on the roads a lot,
Right, right.
So I'm not on the roads as much. But that's a good question. Do you still see it?
Sometimes, yeah. And I've actually had adults that have rode along, young adults that have rode up alongside of me and get me to do that. And they'll start clapping and they're like, yeah. I was like, yeah.
Just reliving their past a little?
Yeah, I guess. That or just, like to hear the air horns blow.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot different than the city horn. It's toot toot.
So
what
there's
the hell
different.
is that?
So you have different horns in there?
2.
Okay,
Yeah.
take me through that.
One's an air horn. That's the string one that you pull.
Okay. And
That's
is it
the
a
super
real
loud-
string? What does that look like?
Yeah, it's a string.
Okay.
And it just pulls it. I guess it releases from the what do you call them? Hydraulics.
Yeah.
And it just blows through, and it creates like a train sound. Sounds like a train engine.
Okay.
It's like, oh, it's cool.
How many, are there a lot of women out there in the sport?
No. I've seen more since I was a kid, but it's still like a 50-to-1 ratio.
Wow.
It's still over, it's men dominated. That's just the way it is. You're going to do it, you're going to have to blend in with them. You have to.
And what does that mean when you say blend in with them?
Well, do you mind the story?
No.
A little story? Okay.
I got time for it.
Example, to blend in, you would take, things that they say as insults, cry about it, get upset,
Okay.
kind of pucker up like a girl, mousy, why did you say that? What?
There's no room for that.
Right. There's not. And, I'm walking up to the truck stop and I was getting fuel. I wanted to get some coffee. So I walk in and this big guy opens up the door for me and he's like, nice tits.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked over at him and I was like, nice tits. And I walked in and he had bigger boobs than I
he
did.
Yeah. He had some freaking heaters on him, huh? Oh.
You have to do that to, I'm walking out with hot dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy's like, you want to come in and see my hot dog? I got a hot dog for you. And I was like, will you shut the hell up? I said, I'm going to go eat my lunch before I throw up on it. And then just went to my truck and ate my hot dogs. Yeah.
Part of it's obviously that's messed up, but at the same time, part of it's kind of funny, a little bit.
It is funny. And you people watch a lot, too, especially when you're sitting, you got a 10-hour break.
Mm-hmm.
You can drive 14 hours. 11 of that's driving. 3 hours is on duty, not driving.
Okay, so what does that mean? Take me through some of that. So the rule is you can drive for how long?
11 hours.
11 hours straight?
No. Yeah, you can drive up to 8, but before the 8, you have to take a 30-minute break.
Okay.
Before the 8. Once you took your 30-minute break, it'll reset it to where that you've got extra time to drive.
Mm-hmm.
And you usually approximately have maybe 4 to 5 more to drive and you're done. And it can't total any more than 14. That's on duty, not driving, is usually like fueling, washing your truck windshield off, or any repairs that might be needed. That's on duty.
Okay, and so you might drive 7 hours and there's 5 hours and then say, okay, I'm going to take my half-hour break.
Yes.
I'm going to take a half-hour break now.
Yes.
And then how much more can you drive before you have to take another break?
You'll only be allowed maybe 5, maybe 6 more. Just depends on, how you run before. And once that happens, you have to take a 10-hour break.
Okay, so I'm just because I'm not good at a lot, so I'm going to ask again. So out of 14 hours,
Mm-hmm.
you can only drive 11 of them.
Right.
And then after that 14-hour space,
right,
you have to take a 10-hour break.
Yes.
Okay, so within 14 hours, you need to take 3 hours break.
Yes.
Total. And then after that, you need to take a 10-hour break.
Yes.
Okay. And is that good because you're glad to have the breaks, or is it bad because you're trying to make time?
No, when you take your 30-minute break, it's actually, you can break anytime you want, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes I'll stop after I've drove about 4 hours, and I'll take a 15-minute break just to stretch my legs, get out, walk, maybe get a drink or pee, and then get back in the truck. You drive another, say, 3.5 more hours before the 8's up,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll take a 30. That's when I'll have my lunch, or I'll play a video game on my phone, or just walk around, anything.
Oh, because before 8 hours, you have to also take a break?
Yeah, you have to.
Okay.
That's the law required. It has to be a 30-minute break.
Okay, so within every 14 hours, you can only drive 11.
Right.
And every 8 hours, you have to take a break.
Yes.
I got it.
Yes. Then once you pull over for the night and it's time to take your 10-hour break, you can rest area or truck stop. There's times when I've pulled over onto a ramp, as you're getting back on the interstate. That way, when I wake up, I can just take off
Keep it
and
cruising.
go.
Yeah, a lot of times, you will see trucks that are just right there on the side. I
Yeah.
always wonder what's going on.
Yeah.
I usually thought sex or drugs.
No, not for me. I'll pull my curtains. I got the truck running. I to set my temperature where I want it. Especially I like the AC on.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll dim all my lights inside and make sure my doors are locked. And depending on the area, sometimes I'll actually use my seatbelt, latch it over the door handle, and lock it.
Oh, I like
so
that.
You can't open the door no matter what you do.
Yeah.
And then once that, you get back here, pull the curtain, pull back my covers. I got my microwave. I got a Keurig for coffee. I got a TV set up in there, put DVDs in it, or I've got a cord that hooks up to my iPhone, and I can watch movies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I got home movies in a little cabinet that I can watch, and I'll sit back here and eat, smoke a cigarette, watch TV, and set my alarm, go to bed. That's it.
And so now, are there times that you will now? So I'm guessing that your truck has a facility, a space in there you can get some rest.
Oh yeah, plenty. It's actually got bunk beds in there.
Okay.
The bottom one is like a full to twin.
Can you pull that up for us on Freightliner cabin, or what would we bring up? You think what we?
Oh, just inside cab, Freightliner, and look up maybe bunk or sleeper berth. That actually would be better. Look up sleeper berth. And it'll show you this because you got a bed up the top that you can fold back against the wall if you're not using it. So it leaves that space open for you. Or you could pull it down if you had somebody with you and you stop, you let them hang out up there and sleep. But you don't put them up there while you're driving.
Right.
Because they could actually fall out.
Yeah, that sounded a little risky. Now, which one of these do you think seems like yours here, Ginger?
Okay, see the bed with the red? Yeah. It's kind of like that inside.
Okay.
Because it's got the bunk beds and it's got cabinet space, and then I've got a spot for the microwave. Refrigerator's right underneath of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. You got enough room. That's where I actually learned to dance for his wedding. It was in my truck.
Really?
Yeah, I couldn't be with me and him to learn the dance together, so I practiced inside of my truck.
So Jeff sent you a video and showed you how to do it?
Well, it was part of the movie Pulp Fiction.
Oh, wow.
Where John Travolta and what's her name? What's her name? Shit.
Karen.
It was Uma Thurman.
Uma Thurman.
Yeah, when they danced together in that restaurant they were at. That's what me and him did as mother and son for his wedding. Yeah.
So you learned that in your truck. So you could stand up and learn that in there.
Oh yeah, there's enough room in that cab to do that.
And so now there's a lot of, there it is right there. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome,
and
man.
I was learning that in the truck because most of it is just the twist. So you're not flailing yourself all over the place. You could get hurt in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine that. Yeah, and for people that don't know, your son is Jeff, right? And he came in the podcast a while back, breasty Jeff, right? And he had long, I guess, just extra meat on his breast.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. I hate it for him.
But hell, man, pretty cool, really, kind of, in some ways. But a really great guy, and he's kept in touch with the podcast, and it was awesome that he just kind of, he's like, oh, I know a woman who'd be perfect for this.
Yeah, he told me about it, and I was just ecstatic. I was like, really? Me? Because you kind of like you feel like the little kid at the school. Somebody picked me? It's me? Cool.
It's cool. Yeah, my mom delivers now just for Amazon, but she's always been like a hard worker, always been, did her own thing, wanted to work for herself. And it seems like you kind of have some of that attitude,
Well, I like the trucking thing.
You do?
Yeah. But I started it a little later than most.
Because you wanted to have children first?
Yeah. Well, I had my kids first, and that was the most important thing.
And what were you doing during those years?
Staying home and trying to maintain the bills and taking care of them, and it was good. It was financially tough as hell.
Yeah.
Being pretty much single, but it got by. We got by. So
yeah.
And then I told them, I was like, when I get stable, things will be better. And it has been. Money's great.
It's a good job.
Oh, yeah. $1,200 a week, bring home after taxes.
Oh, wow, that's great.
Is nice money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you gonna do tonight, you think? Maybe your lady's at the house and it's y'all relaxing. Y'all watching a movie, Jaws or something. And suddenly she wants a couple crab legs or something like that. She's hungry for something she saw in the film, She's hungry for a little bit of carp or a salmon. How you gonna treat her right? I'll tell you how at Grubhub. And especially now that Grubhub has Grubhub perks. That's right. Grubhub, first of all, has all the food you love from your favorite local restaurants. It's nice to know that every Grubhub order earns you points towards a future free Grubhub order. That's right, with Grubhub perks. Grubhub, grub what you love. Woo, oh, sorry. Winter is coming. I think a cold ghost just passed right through my body and just delved right out my nuts. And what I'm talking about is Manscaped. What you don't know about Manscaped is that if you don't have proper body hair on your body, air can get trapped in you. You might get a cold pocket of air trapped near your crotch, trapped near your nuts or thigh. You don't want that. With Manscaped, you can trim accordingly. Trim the hair on your body so wind patterns can pertinently migrate across your skin. Manscaped has the new Lawnmower 3.0 trimmer. It's waterproof with advanced skin-safe technology. Oh, there's nothing worse than Santa nipping his own sack. You don't want it. The Weed Whacker is that ear, nose, hair trimmer. Sometimes you see somebody's stepdaddy and they growing a damn, their ear look like a damn fern because of hair. And you can defeat that now with Manscaped. You got smelly feet, Manscaped can help with their foot dust or foot deodorant made to fight otters. Fight otters from the dirty feet. You want to smell good everywhere? Good. Because Manscaped also has a refined cologne. It's time. Get it for a friend. Get it for a loved one. Get it for somebody you don't even love. Get it for some little asshole in your family. Anybody can enjoy Manscaped. You can get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com/Theo, and you can support the podcast. Get some people in your family Manscaped. Get them. You can't be having your man unscaped. Sometimes you see an unscaped man out there get his hair tangled up in a damn power line. He get a Hulk tangled up in his damn hair. Get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com/Theo. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com/THEO. Be sure to join the Manscaped movement. We do a lot. We don't do a lot, but we try and do some stuff for, we admire hardworking women and
I do work my ass off.
Yeah. So where do you think that work ethic came from, you think?
Actually, not having nothing.
Yeah?
Yeah. Nothing gets handed to you. And
Yeah.
if it does, there's a catch to it.
Oh, there always is, isn't there?
Yeah. There's always that catch. So for me to have something, got to work. And once they were old enough and I didn't need babysitters and, diapers and bottles, and they could pretty much, once they're in high school, take care of themselves.
Oh, once they can make a pot of macaroni, you can do what you want to do.
Well, he's a good cook. My oldest boy, Jeff, he's a good cook.
He is?
Yeah, yes, he is. So he helped out a lot too. So, yeah, it went good.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Was there another line of work that you wanted to get into? It was always trucking. I know you mentioned that from growing up. You said from your dad was in the business. Was there another line of work that you thought about?
Not really.
Yeah.
I did try a concrete mixer.
You drove one of those?
Yeah. It didn't go very well.
Wow,
I started in November. And the old chutes that you use to let the concrete roll down were like 45 pounds a piece.
So you had to hook that.
Yeah. And you pick up each one, there's 4. And what I'd have to do is set it down long ways, drop down to my knees, let it drop on my shoulder, then kind of stand up from a squat, and then walk it across and hook it, and then do each one that way. And then I had to learn how to back up the truck and work the chute at the same time without overloading or spilling concrete.
Damn.
The people that are working by the hour, sweetest people ever. Take your time, we're good.
Yeah.
But the white collar that was actually like the suit and tie people standing there watching you, you spill a drop and you're a piece of shit. Get the hell out of here. You don't know what you're doing. And
and so you just pull up to job sites where it's been ordered.
Yes.
The concrete, and you say, "Look, I got this load. We're ready
pouring
to rock."
footers to a person's driveway or sidewalk.
So now, what was the first one you said?
Which?
Not the sidewalk. The other one.
Oh, the driveways, people's personal driveways, or their little garages or footers at buildings. Like
Okay.
they're getting ready to start a big mall or something.
Mhm.
And there's some tubes that go in the ground, and you got to be filled with concrete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could handle those. So are there some jobs you couldn't handle with concrete where it's like they needed like part of a wall done?
Yeah,
You're
when
like,
somebody ordered some concrete, I was actually there for this. There was another concrete truck that beat us to the place, and it was in a residential area.
Mhm.
He drives into their yard and sinks.
Damn.
Yeah. So all the concrete, it sunk up to the tank. So the tank couldn't stir. And if it can't stir, then the concrete will set.
Damn.
Well, it set in the truck. So all that got wasted. They'd have to jackhammer all that out of there.
Really?
Then they had to call a tow truck to get the truck pulled out of this person's yard that they damaged.
He's fired.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, it seemed like a lot of extra risk on that job. Then there's just so many other variables where you could, lose your nut for the day,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's one mistake. I mean, a heavy truck like that with having it liquid in it, there's that surge. You make a turn and it'll surge to the right.
Oh, because of that volume of that.
Surge to the left.
The weight of that
Yeah.
of that
You
cement
go to
moving.
stop and it'll push the truck forward. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Damn, it almost makes me damn erect. That sounds freaking kind
Yeah.
of sexy. Was it a
You-
little?
No, I actually like the semis because in November when you start out and you're like spraying the truck down
Mm-hmm.
and it's November, you're getting wet. I don't
Right.
care where the fuck you stand. They'll say, "Oh, downwind." I was like, "Yeah, okay, whatever." You got to get back in the truck. You peel all your clothes off. You put them on top of the heaters, and you got to let them warm and dry out before you get to the next stop.
And this is in a rig, huh?
That's in the semi or the concrete
Cement mixer.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you'll just drive in your underwear?
You could, but no.
Put a t-shirt on or something?
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
You have to, because I've sat and drove in my pajamas, and the old school
That's
truck
fun.
drivers get pissed off about that.
Really?
Oh, yeah. You're supposed to be in blue jeans and cowboy boots and a tucked-in flannel shirt.
And now, is that an actual protocol you're supposed to be in?
No, that's just the older school, the older guys. The older ones that's been driving 40 and 50 years.
Yeah.
That's the way that they did it. That's the way you should do it. Too many people out here wearing pajamas.
Yeah. Somebody out here in damn Pokemon freaking onesie.
Exactly.
That ain't a real
Flip-flops.
trucker. Yeah.
Flip-flops and pajama bottoms and, or they'll come out with...
Eating caviar. That ain't a real damn
I
trucker.
seen this lady get out of a truck one time, and I don't know how in the hell she drove like that. Her fingernails were like 3 inches long.
Damn.
She had on all this jewelry. She had this huge weave. She had on this fancy white outfit. The whole outfit was white.
Oh, wow.
You got to reach under the fifth wheel. You've got to touch greasy, dirty shit. And it's like, how in the hell is he? High heels that look like they're 6-inch spike boots.
How could you do that?
You can't.
Yeah.
I wear tennis shoes like these.
Maybe she had a sidekick with her.
She got out of the truck by herself. Usually you'll see somebody in the passenger seat, or you'll see the truck move around for somebody in the cab.
Okay.
But you didn't. She just got out, and I was like, ooh, fancy pants. Alrighty then.
Now, are there some fancy ladies out there on the circuit? What do you guys call it? The circuit? When you're out, just out the run, like when you're out on the...
When you're on route,
OTR, or just what do you call it?
It's just hauling, and you're en route. You got destinations such as your pickups and deliveries, and you'll deliver here, and then you'll go somewhere else, clear across the country to pick up.
Mm-hmm.
That's deadheading. That's empty.
Okay.
And then you'll go pick up there, and then you could deliver somewhere else. Or we bring it to the yard sometimes and just drop it for the local guy to take it.
And what's the yard? Prison, you mean?
No. No, it's the yard's like where our company is. That's where our trailers are. Our trucks are all at, where the office is. The shop where they fix the trucks.
Oh, that's cool.
We call it the yard. Yeah.
Man, I bet my mom would have loved doing that job. She just likes working for herself. She likes,
I do too.
Yeah.
Not having a boss standing over top of you 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
You know, worrying about what you're doing, where you're at, when you're coming in. You know? Yeah.
Is there a level of proof in your line of work that, like, I want to prove to men that I can do this, or it has nothing to do
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Women have it, I think, in my opinion, a little harder because we have to prove that we can drive.
Right, which is notoriously been misproven by women.
Right. Especially in semi-trucks. I mean, we get picked on for driving
cars.
cars.
Especially in South Korea, actually, also. Are there any, and I'll just ask point blank because that's all I know is, but are there any Asian truck drivers? Have you seen any?
Men.
Yeah.
Men.
Praise
never
God,
see Never see Asian women driving. Never.
Yeah, I think.
It's always the men.
Always the men.
Yeah, and they're tiny.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
They're so tiny.
Little jockey, little engine jockey.
Just little tiny guys.
Oh, yeah. Little 9-pound fella.
Yeah.
Little chin yam right here. He weighs 19 pounds.
A little rice bit. Yeah.
yeah, just cruising. Yeah. It's a pretty now. I believe that the truck industry is getting pretty diverse. There's a lot of Middle Eastern truck drivers now.
Yes, there is. Yeah, and to be honest with you, everybody that I have ever seen or out there that's different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the towels and the beards.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's not a terrorist. That's a truck driver.
Right.
He's gotten out and actually helped me before, spot me and getting in a spot. You know, just by there was no word communication at all. He's just helping me out.
Right.
I didn't ask him. He just volunteered and done it.
Yeah.
I'm driving down the road. I see them and they're like this, just a waving, and it's like, hey, what's up? You know,
it's a pretty diverse sport though these days,
yeah,
kind of.
Yeah.
Because you would think, especially when I was growing up, it seemed like it was just a white man kind of did it, you know, or black man, white or black man.
You see a lot of black men driving. I see some black women driving.
Yeah.
It's mostly white women driving because you don't see a lot of diverse women, different country women driving. And it's usually just white.
Yeah.
Or black.
Well, I remember too, man. They had a lot of
Hispanics, a lot of Hispanic drivers.
Oh yeah, huh?
A whole lot. And like I said, a lot of foreigners that can't even speak English.
Like Middle Eastern guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember reading an article a few years ago that about the growing population of Middle Eastern men that were driving long haul.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it was because they also were buying a lot of the service stations and stuff as well. So I think they're just, one business kind of led to the other, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It could have possibly.
Let's take a question right here. We got a question from a beautiful young fella right here.
What's going on, Theo? Big fan, been listening for a while, and I got a question for the female trucker across from you. So MIT or somebody did some sort of study on female truckers and found that on a scale of 1 to 10, they ranked 4.4 on how safe they felt on the road. So my question is, what's the scariest moment or interaction you've had as a female trucker?
That's a good question.
And how safe do you feel on a scale of 1 to 10 on the road? Big fan, Theo. Gang, gang, honk, honk.
Gang, brother. Oh, that's crazy. 2 people did honk, honk?
Yeah.
What are the odds of that?
Honk, honk.
Yeah. That's a great question. Yeah,
Yes,
what's the safety like out there?
It depends on where you're at, actually. There's some places, truck stops that I've stopped at, and I didn't know it at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I was told once I got back, obviously it just didn't matter, that I could have got shot there.
Damn.
Mugged.
For being a female or just anyone?
Just anyone, but also a female. That's the bigger target.
Right.
You're weak, defenseless.
Oh yeah, if I see 7 or 8 people out, wandering around at night.
Well, what if
one
you
of them's
see
a female,
woman
I'm gonna shoot
walking
the woman.
around? Sometimes those drivers actually think that you are a lot lizard.
Oh yeah.
And you drive a truck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And but that would go against the grain, really, to be a lot lizard that also drives. Or do you think they have that?
Yeah, I think they do. I've actually heard about that.
Yeah.
That there are women that will charge to sleep around in truck stops while they're driving,
and
they're making an extra, buck on the side.
Yeah.
Hell no. I've seen some of the shit walking around out there.
You wouldn't hook up with it, huh?
Hell no.
Now, do they have so you said some of the truck stops can be kind of shady.
Yes.
Is there a do you feel like, is there moments where you feel like scared, like you go into a place, it's nighttime, you're walking back to your truck? Do you guys usually park a distance away from the service station?
I try to keep everything I need in the truck. So the only time I have to get out is for fuel, or if I have to do a pre-trip. And you check your truck before you go. Now, there's been times that I've gotten out and literally been so scared that I'd run back before my pre-trip was finished. Just that creepy, ominous gut feeling that somebody's watching you.
Yeah. Now, take me through one more time the pre-trip. What is it?
It's when you get out and your truck's running, you check your oils, you check all your fluids, you make sure your turning signals work, the pressure in your tires, make sure everything's just smooth, and you walk it. And you make sure your air lines are all hooked up.
So you walk your truck, you check everything?
Yes, everything. Make sure the doors are still locked and loaded, fastened, and then come back around, and once it's all done, usually it takes about 20 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you want to check everything. Now, do you use a pressure gauge when you're checking the tires?
No, usually I'll just thump them. I'll
Okay.
take a hammer and hit them. Now, you can tell like the way it bounces off that they're pretty full. But if you hear a thud and it doesn't bounce, usually that means it's flat or it's going flat.
Okay.
So it's kind of like what you look for.
And how many wheels do you actually have on it?
18.
Damn.
18.
I knew it.
Oh, yeah. 2 steers. So you got 2, 4, 6, 8 drives. And then the rest are all trailer.
So what do you mean? So you got 8 drives. 8. So it's an 8-wheel.
Yeah.
So it's 8-wheel drive.
Yeah. Well,
And-
it's one. It's yeah. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, no, it's tricky.
Yeah, no, it's if he could pull up a picture of the trucks,
of it, that freight
you
liner
can
again.
actually count because it is 18 total. But I'm trying to I got a brain fart going on here. Yeah, there you go. There was a perfect picture right there.
Okay, there's a bottom
See?
of this one.
Up there at the top,
Next
to the red one. There you go. That's it.
So those are
1,
your
2, 3, 4. Yeah, you got the 8 drives total.
8 drives.
Yes.
And the 10 are just trailer?
Yeah.
Wow. So now if you take the trailer off, then you're an 8-wheeler.
Yeah.
No,
it's 10 on the cab, honey.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. 10 total. You got 2 in the front and then 8 in the back. So it's 10 on the cab.
Okay, so
And
2
then
in
you
the
got
front,
8 on the
8
trailer.
I
Yeah.
see.
That's where I was trying to think something don't sound right. Wait a minute. Hang on. Let me think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking you had 4 in the front. I really went wrong there.
Yeah, you got 2 steers.
2 up front and
Yeah,
then 8
the
on the
8.
back of the what is the whole
It's
front?
called a bobtail.
A bobtail.
Bobtail. That's your whole cab with no trailer.
Okay.
It's a bobtail.
So that's the bobtail.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get to a service station, you do your pre-trip.
Before you take off.
Before you take off to what? Leave or to go into the service station or whatever?
No, it's before you leave. Like if you're fixing to take off anywhere.
Okay.
Like you just got a new load you're getting ready to take off with, you picked up. Or say you're waking up in the morning after your 10-hour break. That's when you really want to check it. Because there's people that will unhook your airlines while you're sleeping.
Damn.
Or they'll pull your fifth wheel pin.
Why?
And if just to be a jerk. And if they pull that pin and you take off and you ain't checked it, your whole trailer will drop right off.
And your cables will still be hooked and ripped?
Oh, yeah. They'll
Damn.
rip right out. Yeah.
That happened to me at the gas station all the time. I'll put that gas in, fill that bastard up, take off, baby. It costs you $170.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. Praise God. I've spent almost $800 ripping them bitches off. And you don't get to keep the thing. You got to give the thing back.
Yeah, they always want that little pump thingy
What?
back.
I done
Yeah,
paid
and the
for this
hose.
bastard.
Yeah, they went with it. Yeah.
Oh, just hateful, man. It's big business, you know.
We've seen trucks that like them so much they've took them with them too.
Oh,
That's kinda
yeah, I
funny.
can
Yeah.
imagine.
We want a souvenir from the truck stop. Yeah.
How long does it take to fill up a truck when you go to fill up gas? And are y'all on diesel? What do y'all run on?
Diesel fuel.
Okay.
Diesel fuel only, and then you've got the DEF, which is diesel efficient fuel, and it smells like cow piss.
Is it 2 different types of fuel?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me about that. So can you pull into just like a Exxon and get some gas or no?
No, because our company uses the points for pilots and Flying J's.
Okay, so you pull into those specific stations.
Yeah. Well, now if it's emergency fuel, we can use a TA or a Petro or a Love's,
Mm-hmm.
but he prefers us using those because
Right.
he gets extra bonus on the points.
Right.
So we go there and use those, and it usually takes about About 10 minutes to fuel it up completely. And I think it's 250 gallons total. Yeah.
So, dude, if you get in an accident, you're going to die.
Oh,
you're
yeah.
gonna
You're going swimming in some diesel fuel.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
When you do a lot of, are there a lot of swingers out there on the road? Because I would imagine couples go ride together sometimes. Do you see that?
Yeah, there's husband and wife teams a lot. And when I started, I had male trainers.
Okay.
For me, it was easier just to listen to a guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't think two girls cooped up in a truck is a good idea.
Oh, well, there's two women died that did it in that damn movie. Remember?
Yeah, Thelma and Louise.
Them bitches died, man. So you're probably right about that, you know. But yeah, I think you know, I won't even have the if there's someone who's driving me in an Uber or anything like that, and they have the female voice on the phone, I'll have them turn it off or change it. It reminds me of my mother's voice, I think, or just reminds me of some lady squawking.
It's Tom.
It's
and
Tom?
I told Fama I was going to fire his ass several times. Yeah. For getting me in places I ain't supposed to be with a semi-truck. Yeah. Tom, you're an asshole.
Do you keep the voice on the whole time? Do you shut it down?
No,
sometimes?
I have to shut him off.
Yeah.
He gets on my nerves. I wanted to sling him out the window before.
Yeah.
You know, speed warning, speed warning, speed warning. So hell no, shut up. Yeah.
How fast can you go in the rig?
72 is the top speed.
There's a limit on it.
Yes, it's governed. It's
Okay.
as fast as it'll go.
And
now, if you're going downhill, that's a different story.
You can get it in neutral and let it open up.
You can just leave it in the gear it's in, 10th gear, but if you're heavy and you can't control it, stop and doing that.
Really?
But I would let it cruise about 75.
Hey, man.
Oh, yeah. Rock and roll. Yeah.
Let's live a
Gotta
little,
get there.
huh?
Gotta get there.
Put on
Let's
some
go.
AC/DC and cut it up.
Yeah. Hold the steering wheel, grate the cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you listen to while you're in there?
Oh, all different kinds of shit. There's some Clandonia music that I listen to. It's Irish.
Yeah?
And it's bagpipes and drums.
Oh, wow.
And that'll get you shit pumped. Because you're driving and it just, you know, it'll get you hyped up where you're really seriously going. It's like
Clandonium, it's called?
Yeah, Clandonia.
Clandonia?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. And it's straight up Irish. And it's like the Titanic music that I listen to when they're in the lower deck.
Oh, yeah.
And they're partying. It's kind of like that, but it's basically just drums and bagpipes. Now,
Damn, you're like damn William Wallace out there then.
Yeah. And the truck is my sword.
Yeah. Do you keep a weapon on you?
Yeah, I got some OC spray for my son.
Okay.
Yeah, and a hammer works really well.
Okay.
Guns, no. We could have one, but I don't really want it personally in the company truck.
Yeah.
You know, our boss is pretty lenient about it, but he's not like giving us the okay. It's like you can protect yourself, but I don't really want to know about it.
Okay.
You know, and he's a good guy, so.
Here's a fella right here that also owns an animal, and they got a question.
Oh, animals.
Hey, yo, what up, Theo? What up, guest? My question is there equivalent male lot lizards for female truckers? Anyway, gang, bruh.
Gang, baby, that's a great question. Yeah, how much sensuality is out there on the pavement?
Lot.
Really?
Yes. There's a couple of places in Indiana that's way up north.
Mm-hmm.
Way up north. There's a truck stop that's really bad about it. And they will just pound the shit out of your door.
And they're men?
Women.
Women.
Mostly women.
And they're showing up for sex.
Yeah. No, I ain't sticking my head out that curtain.
Yeah.
Because if it happens to be a man, I really don't want them knowing that there's a woman in the truck.
Right.
So I just keep to myself back there.
Will you do a man's voice or something? It's like,
I've
hey.
done that. Fuck off.
Yeah.
You know.
They're pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Or, fuck off, you know. And it'll work, you know. You just keep the lights off.
Yeah.
You know, and you don't let them know that you're, you know, prancing around in there. You just don't make yourself known. You just try to keep to yourself, keep the doors locked.
So you feel pretty safe once you're locked up and everything's locked down for the night. You feel pretty safe in there.
Yeah, the riots had me scared, though.
Yeah.
Because I was worried about, you know, the busting of the windshield, the busting of the side windows. Because then they can climb right in.
Yeah, and the sad thing is every time you see one of those riot videos, they're always stopping a rig, you know?
Yeah, and I've seen them pull the drivers out of there.
Oh, yeah.
And that's scary. And the boss has told us what to do, you know, if that ever happened. He's like, you pull up, you blow your horn. You let them know to get off. He's like, don't ever roll your windows down. Keep your doors locked. And he said, turn on your flashers. He said, you call the police on your headset, but you continuously keep moving. Do not stop. And if somebody's so stupid does stand in front of your truck and get squashed, then that's what's going to happen. You know, if you stop, then you're setting yourself up to get hurt.
Yeah.
Even if they're just protesting, there are some of them that are out to just hurt
some of them
you.
aren't out there protesting.
They don't want Black Lives Matter or any life matter.
Yeah.
This is totally, I want your shit in that truck.
Yeah. They want your life not to matter. Yeah.
Give me your money. I want your radio. I can get this. I can get that. And as your truck is just slowly rolling away and they're getting the crap beat out of you.
Yeah.
You know, it's also getting stripped on the inside. And then, you know, by the time you get back to it, you know, half bleeding and dead, you're like, what the hell? You can't even drive back. Somebody get me. You know, so that it spooked me.
But that's a good plan, though. Flashers going, contact the police on the headset, and just keep it cruising.
Yeah, it's a low speed. You don't try to fly through like they're bowling pins, you know, which you'd like to.
Oh,
just
dude.
Cartoons, you know, watch them just fly left and right as you plow through.
Oh, man, I'd definitely take on some Antifa, son.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
They run 4-8 rigs through that park up there in Portland, and I think they'd have...
Did you ever see the video on the internet where the FedEx driver was UPS, I can't remember which, but it was when it first started the riots. This guy was climbing all over this truck, and it was threatening.
You bring that up, Sean?
And the FedEx truck took off, and the guy actually got pinned in the wheels as the truck's rolling. People are screaming for him to stop. Why would he stop? They were climbing all over him. There was like 20 people all over this
these
truck.
days how suddenly you defend
it looked
yourself
like little
and you're the
kids
bad
on
guy.
a jungle gym. You know, it was just
on YouTube, brother.
It was really scary, and I cried for the person that got rolled over. I did. I felt bad. It was a horrible video, but at the same time, I'd have done the same thing as that FedEx driver. Had to. You don't know what they would have done to him. You know, to get his whatever he's carrying.
Yeah, I'm not dying. St. Louis man dies over being dragged by FedEx truck.
That's it. Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
They may have cut it because it was pretty violent. I don't know if they clipped it or not.
But yeah, man, you're doing your job. Somebody interferes because they have some social justice issue. What is FedEx? This is just thieves. This is just people stealing stuff. These people aren't about any. This isn't about anything,
right? But I think this is pretty much it. But this was pretty sad. Dang. The guy got in. See how he's got the double trailers?
He got in between the two.
He got in between the two of them and got wedged in there, and he got drugged quite a ways before. The video
makes you
stopped.
wonder what your mindset is, because I've been in mindsets where I feel like I need to stand up for myself, where I feel like I need I want to act out for some sort of justice. But then also going in between two semi-trucks just doesn't seem like where I'm going to find any of that.
Right.
Thank you for enjoying this episode with this beautiful trucker. And I want to tell you something right now, that the holidays are upon us, and it's a good time to take care of yourself and others. And you want to communicate with people during the holidays. You don't have to be yelling down the street. You don't have to be writing a message in a bottle and throwing it in the sewer, or throwing it out in the ravine or something. What I'm telling you about is Mint Mobile. Mint Mobile's best offer of the year is here. For a limited time, buy any 3-month plan and get 3 more months for free. That's 6 months for the cost of 3. By going online only and eliminating the traditional costs of retail, Mint Mobile is passing those significant savings on to you. All Mint Mobile plans come with unlimited talk and text and high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and keep your same phone number along with all your existing contacts. And if you're not 100% satisfied, and that's full satisfaction, that's as much as you can get, Mint Mobile has you covered with their 7-day money-back guarantee. You have nothing to lose. You can keep your current phone. Switch to Mint Mobile and get premium wireless service starting at just $15 a month. Why haven't you heard about this? Because you're just finding out about it. Why hasn't everybody done this? Because they are just finding out about it. For a limited time only, our listeners buy any 3-month Mint Mobile plan and get 3 more months free by going to mintmobile.com/THEO. That's mintmobile.com/Theo. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Theo. And I got to tell you right now, I'm looking for a home right now. And if you've seen on my Instagram story, you see me looking through something. I'll go look at anything, a lean-to, a 2-story, 1-story, half-story. Hell, I took a tour of a burning building the other day and almost leased it. But I have credit issues. I can't get I have a previous mortgage that I didn't make some payments on. I missed 2 payments. And they call it dings on your credit. My credit's all dinged up. Like a little, like a Chinese automobile. My thing's all jacked up. Thankfully, Bridge Credit Solutions is helping me. Bridge Credit Solutions. They are backed with a 100% money-back guarantee for any items that cannot be removed from your credit. You will not find that anywhere. You'll know exactly what you're paying for at the beginning of the repair. I reached out to Bridge. I know what they're repairing on my credit. If they can't do it, then I get my money back. There's no open-ended monthly fees. It's written in the contract what work is to be done and how much you're paying. You will need to have the Bridge credit report access prior to scheduling your audit. They cannot go over your credit report without this. Thankfully, it costs just $1 and can be found on the website by simply clicking on the services drop-down bar where you'll see Bridge report access. Bridge Credit Solutions is helping me so I can refinance, so I can get the mortgage. Bridge Credit Solutions prides itself on its lightning quick turnaround. That's right. You can feel free to call or text no matter the hour with whatever questions or concerns you may have. Simply go to bridgecreditsolutions.com/Theo. That's right. Go to bridgecreditsolutions.com/Theo and start repairing your credit today. The money you're going to save in the long term on those mortgage payments, you want to get the credit fixed now. And now back to the episode. Do you have you met any men out there? Now, will you be on apps dating men, meeting men in different cities? Like, do you have a couple of little songbirds out there that you let on the branch every now and then?
No, I got somebody at home, and you get approached by all different kinds of men out there for they'll use all different reasons to try to get your phone number.
Now, what is some of that? Take me through a little bit of that.
One of them is, hey, I like the trucks y'all are driving. Just tell me about your company. Are they hiring? Can I have their phone number? It's like, sure. So I write down Karn's number, give it to him and tell him to talk to Nick. He'll get you a job. We're always hiring.
And they don't call. They're not calling for that.
Well, can I have your number to let you know how it's going? I said, hell no. What the fuck you want my number for?
Damn,
He's like, and that's exactly what he said.
That's what I would have said. Damn,
exact same thing. He jumped back just like he's like, whoa, 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 whoa. And I was like, but what you need my number for? And he's like, well, I was just going to let you know how, the process is going. I said, they'll do that.
Damn.
Thank you very much.
You a shark on them. Now, do you hear any stories about there's places that's popular for swingers and stuff? Because I would imagine, here's what I'm saying is, if you're taking a spouse out there, if you're a man and you have a female sidekick with you, a wife, or whatever it is called, and I can't imagine y'all aren't doing swinging, and there's a lot of swinging out there in the Midwest, too, especially in Missouri.
Oh,
do you encounter any of that?
Hey, no.
I mean, do you hear any stories of it? Is there any?
No, actually, if there's mostly what I see is men that are single out there picking up the lot lizards.
Okay.
And they'll get what they want and then send them on their way. And then they stop to the next truck.
Is it usually sex? Is it blowjobbing? Is it oral sex? Do you know what it is out there?
I don't even know. I guess it would depend on the girl and how much money he wants to spend. You know. Ugh. But yeah.
Do you know the rates on any of it? How?
No, I wouldn't want to.
Yeah.
Because it's literally like, you got to worry about them girls sometimes. Because I've been told that they can actually lay underneath your trailer. And as you're coming out to, say, if you're a man, you're standing out there taking a piss.
They cut your ankle.
They can cut you.
Cut you in the back of the ankle, like on Hostel.
And rob your ass, just like Hostel. And you got to watch them. I've watched them at night when I just pulled in and it's 2 o'clock in the morning. And it's been raining. I'll see, it's actually raining. There's a woman walking around in a pair of shorts and high heels. And she's tapping on each door. Well, it's dark. can't really tell.
That helps.
But you see her, going from door to door to door to truck to truck to truck.
Oh, yeah.
And then the next thing you know, she disappears for about 20 minutes. And then she's out again. You'll see a light on in the truck. That's the dome. Then you know it's like,
that's the dome, all right.
I know what you're doing, And then she'll come out, but I've seen them walk around the trucks like they're looking for shit.
Right.
Or maybe they're going to disconnect something or pull something. You got to watch them because you don't know what they're doing.
Well, they have that famous documentary with Eileen Warnos where wasn't she killing truckers?
No, she actually was killing just random people that was picking her up.
Right.
She was prostituting herself out and just randomly picked out some dudes. And
do you see? Is there any pimping or anything like going on out there? Do you see anything like that?
Do you know who's approached my trucks? My truck is usually men drivers. Other men drivers.
Just wanting to. Now, are they asking specifically for sex, or just kind of flirting, or just saying,
Well,
hey?
I had a Bosnian guy. He told me he was from Bosnia, and he wanted to tell me how big and beautiful my boobs were.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, okay, hell.
Pretty cool. I mean, first of all, that is nice.
It was in Maryland.
I'll tell you this: if a lady came up to my window for no reason and said, "Hey, man, I like the size of that."
Well, this is kind of scary.
I'd be
You're a
fine.
girl in the truck by yourself.
You're right. My bad. You're right. So.
Anyways, he sticks his body halfway in my window.
Okay.
It's a beautiful day. I had the windows down, which is stupid. You don't do that.
So he put his head in the window.
His body was in the window.
Up to halfway.
Yeah, I'm standing there making up my bed, just kind of going to stretch out or watch TV.
Yeah, the window's open. It's nice out.
Nice, beautiful day. Next thing I know, I turn around and I was like, I screamed. And I was like, you could get a shot like that, dude. What the fuck? Get out of my truck.
Damn.
And he's like,
handsome
hey.
guy or not?
He wasn't bad looking.
Now we're talking.
But it's a still.
Bring up Bosnia. Let me see where it is on the map, Sean.
Yeah, check it out.
Bring up an
Because I asked him if he was Russian and he got pissed at me.
Oh, yeah, they get upset.
He's like, oh, hell no, I'm not Russian.
Well, just wear a sign that says Bosnian then, dude.
Because I was like, well, where are you from? And he's like, Bosnia.
Yeah.
We hate Russians.
Yeah, they'll fight, man. They love to fight Russia.
Yeah.
Maybe Google Bosnian man outdoors, maybe.
But yeah, he told me that if he would hate himself if he didn't tell me that he wanted to have a good time. I was like, roll on, Alabama. I ain't know. No.
The bearded guy, look at him. Let's look at that guy down a little, third row.
No, I'll tell you what he looked like was more like the top roll up there and third guy. Not the same guy, but I mean, that's more like the picture.
Okay.
That's what he looked like.
Wow. Handsome kind of. Like you said, a little bit handsome.
He was okay.
Oh, yeah.
But it was just too weird, man.
Yeah, it's a bit of a heavy approach, You
can't do the flake thing, It's kind of flaky.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't just peek in my window.
No.
Yeah.
It wasn't a peek.
Is there it wasn't a peek, huh?
It was not a peek. It was a full-blown, wow, I'm up in your truck. You got big, beautiful boobs.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, my God. It's like, I will hate myself if you not have sex with me in my truck.
Did he say that?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Oh,
he wanted
wow.
me to get out and have sex with him in his truck. I was like,
Damn.
get the hell out of here.
At least he really laid it out,
I guess.
exactly what he was wanting.
Yeah.
Because that's a tough thing. On this podcast, we try to encourage young men to, at least shoot their shot, but that's kind of a shady way to do it.
Well, I'll tell you some funny stuff, too, about other episodes this way. I was doing a dedicated run, which is the same thing every day. And I was leaving from our shop, which is in Louisville, to Indianapolis UPS.
Okay.
And coming back, same thing every night. Well, started running into the same fella that in a car right up alongside of me, just grinning and waving, from his car. And I'm like, hey, how you doing? And I'm driving on, next thing I know, he's blowing his horn. So I glance down and he's got his junk hanging out.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
His penis, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow. Dear
then
God.
he backs off. Okay. Then he comes back up alongside of me again. He's grinning even bigger this time.
Oh, yeah.
His pants are down to his knees this time. Okay. Well, I'm sitting here just driving, literally wanting to put my hand next to my face, and just kiss here. Because I'll slow down, for them to speed up a little bit. Then they'll go back. And then they'll keep alongside of me the whole time, no matter what I'm doing.
Oh, yeah.
Regardless of the traffic that's going on around us.
It's just you and them in the world, huh?
Right,
It's like y'all are slow dancing.
Right. I saw this guy 5 separate occasions. Same stretch of 65 in Indiana. And I named him Jerk Off Jim.
Oh, yeah. He's out there, huh?
He painted his steering wheel.
Did he?
Oh, yes, he did.
What color?
White.
Ooh. That body glaze, I bet.
Yeah.
Damn.
Nasty.
So now you could see his penis. Now, can you see from the from your perspective?
Yeah, it's the perfect view.
You can see over to the driver's side.
I can see everything.
Wow.
Inside of a vehicle. A four-wheeler.
So if I'm driving, right, and I have my penis out.
Yes.
Can you, and you're in a rig.
Yes.
How can you see my wiener? Can you see it through the front window?
No, it's from the side, your side window, the passenger side.
So you can see from the passenger, from
if you're
where you are.
passing me,
wow.
So you're passing me in the fast lane. I'm in the slow lane. It's 2-lane highway, like I-65 is through Indiana. Yeah, I could see everything inside of your vehicle. Your back seat, front seat, driver's seat.
So if I put my penis out, you could see it?
I could see everything.
That's awesome.
I could almost count the hairs.
Oh, wow.
Almost.
Hell yeah. Look, I didn't know y'all had such good sights.
Oh, it's a hell
on.
of a view. It's the upstairs view from, seeing y'all from downstairs.
What about this? Do you see a lot of like oral sex going on between couples occasionally? I'm sure you see a little bit of that sometimes.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
But most of the time they're not like, trying to ride
Show it
along.
off.
You're right. They just ride on down the road and it's like, oh damn, did you see that? There ain't nobody in the truck with me. I'm just like,
yeah.
what the fuck?
Have you ever had a guest in the truck, a male guest, or no?
I've had my oldest son with me once, and I had my daughter with me. She got to ride with me once, and I did have a team member from work, coworker. We did team for 9 months, running back and forth to Miami, Florida twice a week.
And was that enjoyable? Or?
No, hell no. I hated it.
Really?
Yes.
Because y'all started to get on each other's nerves, I'm sure.
Oh my God. I wanted to kill him.
Oh.
There's so many times that I almost left him at truck stops.
Oh, yeah.
And that's for you, Chris, if you ever listen to this.
Amen, Chris. That's what you
Chris,
get, son.
Chris Santana.
Yeah, smacking your fucking gums while you're eating.
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
Tell him about his toenails in the floor.
Oh,
his body hair in the bed sheets.
Come on,
the
Chris.
The piss bottle's rolling around.
He pee in a bottle?
Fuck yeah.
God.
Water bottle rolling around. There's 2 water bottles.
Oh, it breaks my heart.
Oh, it broke mine.
Oh.
I wanted to break his
women,
neck.
y'all don't. So you guys ever pee in like a pan or something and leave it in
cup?
There? In a cup?
Yeah, but as you're driving down interstate, like if you're teaming,
yeah,
and they're driving and you got to pee, that window goes down and out goes the piss, and you keep the cup.
Amen. And what do you do with the cup? Just sign it and give it to somebody?
No, you stuff a paper towel down in it, put the little top back on, where the straw goes, and that way it keeps the smell down. You put it in a bag.
I like that.
Yeah. Sanitary reasons.
Little tricks of the trade you learn as you go, huh?
Yeah.
We had a question that came in right here from some gentleman or this fella right here, this happy guy right here.
Hey, Theo. My name is Brooks, longtime listener from Florence, South Carolina. My question for your guest tonight is, we all know that truck stops are the mecca of the dark arts. What's the craziest thing you've ever seen go down at a truck stop? Thank you for everything you guys both do. Love you. Gang, gang.
Gang, brother. I'll tell you, I'll lead on this one.
Go ahead.
So I was going to college, and I did go. And I went from Louisiana, and I drove to Tucson, Arizona. And I had worked all summer, man, to save up some money. So I had me about $1,200 in cash. And I'd stayed up. I was doing uppers, gas station uppers, no doses, those, snorting whatever
Any
they
caffeine
sold.
pill you can get your hands on.
Oh, I was snorting it.
Yeah.
Dude, I did half a damn Mountain Dew Code Red.
Burn!
Oh, I did half of Mountain Dew Code Red straight through one of my nostrils. You know what I'm saying?
Gross.
I'll fucking do it all. I'll do it
snorted
all,
a Red
shorty.
Bull. Yeah.
Oh, I don't care. I'll do it all, you know? So anyway, so I'm up, man. I've been up for probably about 20 hours. In my car, I had this 84 some kind of car. I don't even know what it was. Didn't even matter, really. It was a piece of shit, but it would overheat. So about every maybe 150 miles, it got too hot. And so I had to pull over and wait about 40 minutes for it to go down. And then I had to wait for it to cool off so I could put the water in the radiator and then start back again. Well, I'd been up for fucking a day and a half, man. I wasn't doing real well. So I stopped at a truck stop in, I guess it was maybe Nevada, I'm not sure, or Arizona or West Texas, somewhere. But man, I had all my money, and I was like, I can't leave it in my car. Somebody could break in. I'll leave it on my person, right? So I took it, put it in my underpants, my cash, right? So I went into this gas station. I found a place somewhere upstairs. They had like this little lobby kind of place, and I just laid on a bench up there and just went to sleep. Well, I slept for probably about 40 minutes, and I forgot that I had my cash in my underpants. When I stood up, it just fell out my pant leg, and I lost all my money.
No, you didn't.
Lost it all, man.
Holy shit.
Then here's the shady part. Then you're wandering around a gas station for 2.5 hours asking people if they found $1,200 cash, right?
Oh, like they're going to tell you.
Hey, yeah, they're not. I'll tell you this.
Oh, sure.
None of them
Is it
are.
yours? Would you like to have it back?
None of them are
Not
going to tell
happening.
you.
No.
And the worst part is they all think you're on drugs and shit.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Like if you
You
found
looking for a piece of crack you dropped on the ground?
like, have you found $1,200 cash in here? And they're like, this dude is on fucking drugs.
Yeah, you want dope, man? Yeah.
Do you run in? What have you run into out there? Have you seen anything wild? Is there anything going on out there?
I've seen fist fights over parking or fuel spots.
Really?
Yeah. Where they're in such a hurry, they get into an actual fist fight over getting fuel, who gets it first.
Damn.
I've actually gotten a screaming match with somebody once over that.
And how does that work? Because you're coming in at a certain angle, they're looping around or
No,
something?
what it is that you take your turns, just like you would at a, gas station. And the semi-truck in front of you that's supposed to be getting fuel, there's nobody fueling. It's just sitting there idling. So I run in to go pay for a parking spot because all the free ones are taken. So you get a reserve spot. That's about $15 to $18.
Okay, so it's almost like a KOA campground, like you get your space.
You have to pay and park.
But there are some that are free.
Yes.
Interesting.
The ones that are free are the shittier spots in the back.
Right.
It's twisted and turned. It's hard to get to.
Out on the fucking rape trail out there.
Right.
Yeah.
And down there in the back, lower 40s, nosebleeds, where there's no light,
Yeah. Is there a lot of drug use out there? You see any of it? What are these guys on out there? I know some of them are probably doing pills
Drinking.
and uppers. Really?
Drinking. Yeah. I've smelt it. They come into truck stops and they walk past you and they smell like a brewery. But there are truck stops that sell beer. You wouldn't think that a Pilot, Flying J, Loves, or anything like that would actually sell liquor. But there are some that sell alcohol. And they could sit in there and get soused all they want in their truck. And as long as they're sober, I guess, by in the morning, they driving.
And what are you doing for food in there? Do you take food of your own? Do you stop and get stuff? What do you like?
Yeah, when I'm off on Saturday or Sunday, Monday maybe, Sunday and Monday, I'll go to Walmart, get everything I need, and put it in, stock up my truck, paper towels, food, drinks, water, everything. And load it all up in there and then go on down the road. So if I get hungry, I can actually take everything out, make a sandwich, or I can stick things in the microwave, cook it. Yeah.
And if you're starting off on a haul, right?
Yeah.
What's the snacks you get out the gate? What's that gateway snack setup you like to,
Donuts.
Really? You start with a couple donuts,
Yeah,
huh?
donuts.
Damn, you
Powdered
going hard.
donuts.
Oh, they're good, huh?
Can't drink milk no more because I'm getting old and gut can't handle it. So
Yeah.
I get the lactose free, and it's like the cartons. And I'll just have a little knob and turn up the milk and, donut or two. Turn up the milk. Next thing you know, you've got this powder ring all over your face and you're wiping it off and it's all over your shirt.
Oh, yeah. You're like, oh, this lady parties. You show up and say, this lady parties.
This is good. I'm going to buy it up. Shit flying. Yeah. It's pretty cool. But there was a question the guy had asked what the most dangerous thing was.
Yeah.
I did get trust. There was a time when I was doing a pre-trip and it was early in the morning. Sun was out. It was bright, beautiful morning. And I was actually close to the truck stop, too. I wasn't way out in the parking lot. And it sounds like a bad joke, but it's really not. I had my hood open, checking all my fluids, checking my belts, everything that needed to be checked. Plus, I was still green at it, so it was taking me a while to make sure I'm actually probably over-checking.
Right, you're doing it all.
Right. And here comes this Hispanic guy. He wants to know about how to unplug the E-logs in your truck. And I was telling him, you go inside of the storage door of your truck and open it. Sometimes you can unplug it. Well, can you come over here to the truck and show me? I was like, no. I just told you can go check it yourself.
Damn.
So I went on about my business, wiping stuff, checking. Here comes two white dudes. Where's husband at? I was like,
straight
to it. I said, he's in there taking a shit, which I was in there by myself. And I don't tell nobody that.
The fake shit husband trick.
Yeah, and he's like, really? Okay. They just stood there and they's talking amongst themselves. I started getting nervous. And after about 10 minutes, me ignoring them, the guy said, that must be one long shit. I said, he's probably just getting something to eat since he shit.
Yeah.
And he finally, they walked off.
Circle of life right there.
This black guy, a Milli Vanilli reject.
Oh, damn.
But he's a big dude.
Oof.
Big dude. Big, tall, 6'3", muscles.
He came in and helped you out?
He's got the long braids. He's got one braid hanging in the front. He's like, why don't you come over here and give a brother some love? And I was like, no. I said, I got a run to do. I'll drive a truck, you know. And I put the hood down, latched him, and started walking over to the driver's side, you know, kind of quick speed, and get in my seat and go to grab the door to shut it. And he grabs hold of my wrist.
No way.
And he yanks. He yanks so hard that I used my feet and my other hand to hold myself in the truck. And he's like, come and give me some love. And when he yanked and I braced and caught myself, I yanked my wrist back and shut the door. And I was already trying to put it in gear before I'd even released the brakes. Like, I'm really trying to take off, and the truck's like, because the brakes are still on. So I had to release them, took off, and trying to peel out of there on gravel in fourth gear, you know, with the heavy truck. And it's like, you know, trying to take off. And I get down the road and get on the interstate and broke down and just like damn near cried.
Damn.
You know, because I just went limp. This guy just tried to yank me out of the truck. And it scared the shit out of me. So I texted on the e-logs, my company, Werner, at the time. Mm-hmm. The guy just tried to pull me out and sent it. And they're like, be careful.
That's it. That's it, honey. Yeah. That's the world, baby. That's the world. Yeah. Be careful.
Yeah.
All right.
So thanks for the advice.
I knew that.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, a lot of guys with those dreadlocks, they'll use them to tie you down.
Oh, shit. I need to look like he beat you with them.
Oh, yeah. I saw a black guy at the gym. He had 2 dreadlocks, and he was doing them like those like those.
These were long enough they could be used as lassos.
Oh, people do them.
You know.
People doing wild
around
stuff.
The throat, yeah.
It's risque out there, man.
Yeah, it is. It's scary.
It's French risk, baby. What else? Anything else coming over there, Sean?
What's up, Theo, baby? This is your boy Jacob coming straight at you from Hillsboro, Oregon.
What's up, Jacob?
And I have just one question for your guest.
Yes,
and
sir.
that is, how the hell do you stay awake for some of your long haul drives? Because anytime I have to drive for 6+ hours, especially at night, boy, you know I'm going to start nodding off and having to pull over at those sketchy ass rest stops. So just if you could let me know one of your secrets, bless up. I'd appreciate it. Gang, gang.
Amen. Yeah, what's the tricks there? Because what is the tricks?
Coffee, opening up the window as far down as it'll go, no matter how cold it is.
Really?
Yeah. Air conditioning in the face. I've actually slapped myself a couple of times.
Oh, yeah, I've done that.
And I've took my fingertips and I'll sit there and tap the closed eyes to try to wake up. Damn. I've used cold washcloths on the eyes. Visine helps. Coffee. And getting out and walking. Stretching. Yes. Yeah, because you got to get your legs in a straight position and your ass falls numb.
Yeah.
So you got to get the blood flowing.
Does your ass fall asleep after a while?
Oh, hell yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. You don't feel your butt crack. It's completely gone.
Oh, my God.
It feels like one big giant pillow. It's like, wow. Who needs shocks? I can't feel a thing. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't even imagine it's having that ghost ass feel, you know?
Yeah.
Just,
oh, yeah.
Wow.
Well, it's AIS is what it's called.
It is?
Yeah. Ass in seat.
Really?
Yeah. It's when you don't stop. You run the whole thing.
Dang.
Except for your 30-minute break. I've done that before a few times.
What is now? Are there some outfits and some groups where they can just drive and they don't have to follow those rules? Do some people break the rules? Some people.
I think the only ones that can do that, I'm not positive, is like farm equipment. They don't have to have certain rules. I think they're allowed on and off the road, but they can't like travel long distances. But they don't have to have restrictions and endorsements, and they can just get on with their tractor, but get off, but no requirements.
What's a snack that you'll kind of wait to have? If you've been out there a while, what's a snack what's a snack that you won't have while you drive? Is there something you've had from the gas station where like, oh, this makes me sick, I'm not having this again?
Hot dogs.
Really?
Yeah. That's an instant enema. You want to eat a hot dog, take shit, there you go.
It's a risky move, huh?
Oh, yeah. You don't want to, and they're chili.
Oh.
Any place that serves their own cooked chili may smell good, may look good. It's really cold outside. Taking warm chili.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that's like a lava just pouring out of a volcano.
Praise God. Oh.
Ass on fire.
Oh. My buddy had, yeah. We've all done some things.
Yeah.
Is there anything that makes who couldn't drive truck? Is there are there types of people that couldn't drive truck? What does it take to be a driver?
You got to want to drive.
Okay.
That's the first thing. If you don't like driving, any kind of driving that's in your own car or anything, then you ain't got no business in it. You have to have some patience because people are idiots out there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's too many of them. Then you got all the road rage, and you got to control your own road rage. But just anybody could drive if you wanted to. You know, if you wanted to bad enough and you just keep trying, you can do it. Takes a lot of studying, a lot of practice.
Really?
Yeah. Backing's hard.
Backing up.
To me, yeah. Some people are born with the just be
That
able to
backing
do it.
gene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like just gravy.
Yeah.
Eyes closed and get it right in
There's
there.
old backup Benny.
Yeah. Those there, I give the finger.
That's what I say, man.
Yeah, fuck 'em.
F them, bro.
I had to try. I had to practice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But I'm better at it. I ain't gonna say I'm perfect at it. I never will be. There have days where I could back in a spot that's, super tight. And then there's other days that I can't back into a football field.
Yeah.
And I've heard that from other drivers too. Same thing.
Just kind of
have
whatever
your
your
days.
vibe is, huh?
Yeah,
Have your
yep,
days.
Yep.
What's the number one thing you got to remember while you're out there driving? I mean, is it safety? Is it patience? I mean, you said patience, but just trying to think if there's anything else that we're kind of missing out, any world that we're missing out on.
You have to have like 6 sets of eyeballs running all the time. And people don't understand what the truck consists about. That's a lot, is the ignorance of the other people. They don't know how heavy it is. They don't know that we're getting over to avoid hitting somebody on the shoulder that's broke down. They think we're just cutting them off. It's like, get the hell out of my way. Nobody likes being behind them.
Right.
We're a little slower for a reason. Sometimes it is because of the weight, but then there's other times that we have to keep our distance further back than they do. They ride bumper to bumper in cars, and we have to stay back, which is 12 seconds at least.
That's the rule.
Yeah.
What about the headlights? Y'all use those to like notate things to each other?
Yeah. It's a code. Flipping headlights can, and especially during the day, can mean usually there's a police officer or DOT sitting somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Could mean a wreck up the road. Flipping them seriously. Flipping. You come over the hill, there might be an accident down there. Or somebody pulled over, a lot of cops pulled over somebody on the side of the road. And it could mean high beams, basically. Turn your lights down. Well, I've got them LED lights. They're super strong. And they, they're like X-ray vision.
Yeah.
And I get headlighted, high beamed all the time. And there's nothing. I have to show them that I got, you want some high beam? Here you go. They are on low, damn it. What do you want me to do? But there ain't nothing you can do about it.
Is it fun being out there by yourself sometimes?
Yeah.
Cruising?
Yes. I like looking around. I love the woods. And it's peaceful. There's times that I miss my family. I miss my kids, my grandbabies, my cat, But then there's times that it's like I can't wait after the weekend of being home. I'm ready to go back out.
Yeah.
I like driving the trucks. I like shifting gears. I feel like King Kong on the road sometimes.
Yeah. Huh?
Yeah.
I guess it does give you a feeling of power out there.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And you got control too. Because you can, if you have to hold your own lane and you have to stay where you're at because you cannot change lanes to help somebody that's getting off the ramp, every now and then it's gratifying when somebody actually has to stop and let me go. I don't have to stop for you. I'm just going to keep on rolling. Fuck you.
Amen.
Actually had a cop try to pass me on a ramp, which was ridiculous. It's like the worst thing ever. And it was a police officer. And I'm in the slow lane. Traffic's pretty heavy. There's a lot of traffic coming off the ramp, getting onto the interstate. So I move over into the middle lane.
Mm-hmm.
I'm keeping up with traffic, and they're moving all pretty slow because they're just getting on. So I kindly start to pass them. There's still just a tiny bit of ramp left because I let them all go on about their business.
Yep.
I get back over in the slow lane, and I just, out of the corner of my eye, just happen to glance over in my side mirror. There's a freaking cop that's running alongside of me, and he's running out of road, and it's like him getting squashed between me and a guardrail. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And he ends up backing off because I held my own. I was like, piss on you.
Yeah.
I'm where I'm supposed to be. I don't know what the hell you're doing. But he ended up backing off, got behind me, and then ended up into the hammer lane.
He was scooting on, huh?
Yeah, and then rolled on down the road. And I was like, yeah, that's what I thought.
Amen.
Yeah.
Do you feel like I bet there's a lot, are there some murderers? You feel like you ever have met a murderer out there? Because I bet there's a lot of murderers in
You
the
probably have.
trucking
and
industry.
not know it. Because I've heard about that. There was a truck driver that I heard about that was picking up hitchhikers and stuff, lot lizards or whatever, and chaining them inside of the cab of his truck.
Mm.
Yeah.
And they
Leaving
caught him, or
bodies.
who knows?
Yeah, they caught him.
But it's definitely a job that really, you're just stopping by. You're
You
always
have to
leaving.
be careful. It's like I said, I walk around there with this look on my face, like I'm going to kill somebody.
I like that.
You have to, because you can't be.
Yeah. Hey, come kill me.
Yeah, I'm so
Yeah.
weak. Hi.
Yeah.
Because that's automatic red flag for them. Oh, dumb bitch.
Yeah. Let's get this hoe.
But if you walk around and you got that hammer that you just thump tires with and you look like you're going to crack somebody's skull with it,
Amen.
people won't bother you, so they leave you alone.
If you stirring your coffee with a fucking hammer or ice
I'll use my pocket knife.
Yeah.
Lick the blade clean,
What other jobs did you have over the years? Anything else that really stood out?
Yeah, before I ever started driving, I've done a little bit of everything. I've shoveled some gravel. I've worked in motels. I've gas stations. I've had all different kinds of just odd, meaningless jobs that wasn't going to go nowhere.
Yeah.
Then they offered me a grant that was free because I was on food stamps, welfare.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, well, what's the grant consist about? What is it? She's like, well, you have to pick up a high-paying profession, something that's in demand. She said, you got nursing or trucking. And nursing's an okay thing, but
yeah,
I don't like people being hurt. I get too tender. So, well, I've always wanted to drive. So she's like, well, we'll give you $5,000 that you don't have to pay back, but you have to graduate.
Damn, that's
you
a good
can't
deal.
fail. Yeah, I was top 97% of my see.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, I was the only girl.
Were you?
That was even like, yeah, I was the only female.
And dang, so yeah, I guess I just think if I'm a trucker and I see a female come through, I'm gonna holler at her.
Oh, they
And
were
some
so
of it's
nice.
nature.
The whole damn class was just, and most of them were black, but I loved my whole class.
That's cool.
I like all different, people, so I get along with everybody.
Did they have a fake rig, a simulator you would try at first, or no? They don't have that.
No, they gave us these junky little day cabs that we start off, just doing the backing up moves, which is alley docking and straight line backing and parallel parking, which you don't have to do. But they teach you the basics. And then she owned her own 2 Peterbilts.
Wow.
And she would let the classmates take those out with the trainers. Trainers would take off. We'd get to a certain spot.
Mm-hmm.
Then they'd let one of the students do some driving. And we'd all take turns. It'd be like 5 to a truck.
Mm.
And we'd all take turns. And I shifted like I was in NASCAR.
That's cool.
Yeah, well, 55 in like 5 seconds. We're good. Yeah.
And what about, this might be the last question I have. What about your first kiss? You remember your first kiss or no?
Yes, I do. I was 14 years old.
Damn, girl.
Yeah.
Who was
Head
he?
over heels with the town punk.
Was he? What
Yes.
made him a punk, kind of? What was that?
Oh, he quit school.
Oh, yeah?
Did drugs,
That'll do
drinking.
it,
He was
yes.
18. I was 14.
Yeah.
Let's see. He'd sneak at the bus stop to meet me. My mother, she actually introduced me to him.
Your mom did?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
They were both from Our Lady of Peace.
Yeah, I bet they were.
Yeah.
Our Lady of Peace of ass, bro.
Well, you know what Our
I'm
Lady of
saying?
Peace is?
The church, right?
It's a mental hospital.
Oh, damn.
For
well, they
yes,
changed by the time they got to our
Mom
town.
had a nervous breakdown. The guy went in for drugs. They met. Well, when they met, my mother comes out when she finally got, I guess what you would call normal. She comes out and she's like, I met this guy, said he knows you, and he's so nice, he's so sweet, and he's so good looking. Well, I ended up meeting the dude. Later on down the road when I found out he was a fruit, just nuttier than shit. So
He's out there, huh?
yeah, he was bad news. Yeah,
But that was the first kiss,
he
huh?
was damn. He was good looking.
Was he?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Who'd he look like?
He was dark complected. He had brown eyes, brown hair, tall, thin, has 6-pack.
Damn.
Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. His mom and dad was Romeo and Lee. They were really good people.
That were their parents' names?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool names.
Romeo was his dad. Lee was his mother.
Damn, Romeo's a dope name, really. They had a rapper that kind of stole it from everybody, but I feel like it should be coming back. I wouldn't mind having a little kid named Romeo.
Yeah.
What was your first concert you ever went to? You remember?
Oh, yes, I do. Ozzy Osbourne and Motley Crue.
Damn, that's a good one.
It was Bark at the Moon, and Motley Crue, Shout at the Devil.
Damn.
It was at the old Cardinal Stadium in Louisville.
The Busch Stadium? No, that was before that, huh?
It was the Cardinal Stadium, the outdoors. Y'all have heard of the Yum Center, and it's the new stadium that Louisville has built.
This it right here?
Yeah, that's the old one right there, because it was outside, and the Motley Crue and Ozzy Osbourne concert was outdoors in the stadium. It was excellent.
It was?
Yes, and I don't remember a lot of it.
Amen.
But what I do, yeah.
What were y'all on, drugs or just drinking?
Weed.
Oh, yeah.
I was 14, so I was pretty green to everything. I had never actually done anything up until I was 14.
Yeah.
So first thing I ever tried was smoking pot. And the guy, my first boyfriend, the Jim I was telling you about, we went together.
Oh, nice.
My mom and dad drops us off, right?
Unbelievable.
And I was all so excited, and I saw Motley Crue. I was just, stoked and pumped, and we're just jamming, heads banging, and, the little thing going on, and, yeah. Then the next thing I know, it's like Ozzy's on, and I was like, well, what? I'm starting to get like all foggy head and shit and can't remember hardly nothing, but every joint that he had brought had been smoked. Yeah, we were pretty toasty.
Well,
and I remember being up against the fence.
Oh, I bet, huh?
Like me and him sitting in the grass.
Oh, okay.
And it's pitch black outside, and I guess we was waiting for my mom and dad to pick us up.
Uh-huh.
That's why I guess we were there.
Oh, yeah, I bet. I bet, man.
But then I remember being in the car shortly after, and my dad always claimed that he was the one that could bust us if we'd been smoking pot, right?
And he couldn't.
Fuck no. My mom knew it every time. She was the one that didn't smoke. I found out later that my dad was the one that smoked.
Damn.
And it's like, you're too high to know that we're high.
That we're high.
She's the sober one that can tell.
Dude, I remember I went to Green Day concert one time. I was so high that I watched the opening band, and I thought that was Green Day. I sang all the Green Day songs.
You did?
100%. I sang every Green Day song that I knew. I heard it as they played it. I thought it was Green Day. It's over. I'm ready to leave. Asking my friends, are we ready to go? And then like, Green Day hasn't even performed yet. And my whole
Who was
world,
you jamming to in your own head? I mean, besides it being Green Day, who was actually playing?
I don't know. You want to look it up? Green Day tour 1994? 1995 maybe? I don't know. But damn, they were good, man. I'll say that.
You was doing some kind of something with hallucinogen in it.
That could have been it. Oh, dude, I remember.
It could have been Beethoven playing, and he thinks it's Green Day. Yeah, this is good jam, man.
I'll tell you this one, too. So at another, can you see who their opener was? Maybe if you see their tour history, maybe would that be it? Or I'm not sure. Yeah, there you go. Green Day tour history, maybe it'd be on there. 20, yeah, let's do 95 maybe. See if they played New Orleans. It doesn't say their opener though, does it? Yep, that was it right there. December 6th, dude.
Wow.
Other acts, the Riverdales, dude. I don't know who they were, but they sound just like they was just doing covers of Green Day, I think. The Riverdales, boy.
Riverdales, okay. Alrighty then.
Damn, bro, I'll tell you this, they good, man. They were real good. And then here was the worst part. Another time I went to some concert, and I remember being high. Somebody laced a joint or just laced me. I think the Lord just laced me.
Been there, done that.
And damn, man, I hit a damn. I got so high. I remember thinking I was a raccoon for a couple minutes. And I found this man at the back of the thing, and I was feeling on his chest, and I thought he was in the war, and it was a cop. He had like a badge on. I remember feeling the badge. I'm like, were you in the war? You know, I thought it was like a medal or something, you know? And he's like, I'm a fucking cop, man. You know, you need to take this bullshit into the bathroom. I was like, I think I'm dying. He goes, well, you need to fucking go die in the bathroom, son. So
he didn't care?
He said, you need to go
you
fucking
die here.
I mean, I've been feeling on his damn chest. I don't blame him, really. But I couldn't see. I thought I was a raccoon. I'm glad I didn't tell him I thought I was a raccoon. Because
he probably would have put a straitjacket on your ass.
I don't think people want to hear that. You know? But yeah, it was fun going to concerts, man. Did you ever up the ante on drugs? You ever got LSD was popular back then, huh?
I don't like it. I actually tried it just twice and only did a half a hit each time I tried it, and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
It's just I had weird things happen, and it wasn't that I was tripping. It was just something that odd. It's in the middle of summertime. First time I tried it, half a hit, and it's hot, and I'm standing on my friend's porch, and I look down, and just this random dog walks in front of me and barfs. But as he's barfing, he's backing up, and it's just kind of elongating out of his mouth, and I'm like, what the fuck? You know, what is this? You know, just didn't care for that. Then the second time I tried it with my brother and a friend of ours, Stephanie.
Oh, wow.
And it was just a
Family
half.
time. Yeah.
And we're driving down the road. We're in Shepherdsville, and we're coming around the corner where the stockyards are. And we saw this line of traffic ahead of us that's coming toward us. And we're like, what the hell? And we saw this. There's a guy on this horse that is running full speed, coming toward us now we're on acid. Okay?
Damn.
And there's a horse that's holding up all this traffic.
That's unique.
Well, as he's running full gallop, he's running. To us, it looks like the legs are flailing off like this as the horse is running. We're all three laughing so damn hard that we can't drive, so we actually had to pull over and sit there until we could catch our breath, run the snot off our nose and the eyes, and we're like, what the hell was we just looking at? Was that a guy on a horse? What the hell is that? And it just, how do you pick two times that you see a dog vomit and a guy on a horse in the middle of the fucking road?
Oh, look.
Rolling full speed. There ain't no cart back there. He's just gloomp, gloomp, like he's at the Kentucky Derby, you know, on the interstate. It's like, what the hell?
Dude, that's God right there. I'm telling you this because I remember one time being high on mushrooms or something. And we went to the gas station, and all the ground just suddenly, all these little pieces of oil looked like they started running around everywhere. And I'm like, oh my God, is that roaches? What is this? You know, it's just insane. And then we go inside, and the guy said, as we're leaving, I swear to God, he goes, y'all be a little conscious by the pumps. We got a roach infestation by the pumps. And I'm like, and I'm just thinking, when has there ever been a roaches by a gas pump? Ever? Maybe one, you see one every now and then, but like a roach infestation? Just sometimes weird shit happens when you're on drugs, and you're like, damn, this makes things so much...
Were they making Flocka or something?
Yeah, it could have been. It's like they made something so much weirder. But a dog barfing, that would fucking lose my mind, man. If you had advice or suggestions for any women who were thinking about getting into the trucking business or anything like that, was there any suggestions you'd offer to them?
Yes. Get plenty of sleep. Don't let the job run your life. You are the captain of your own ship. You know, when you are tired, stop. You know, if you want to shower, take a shower. You know, them kinds of things. You know, you want to do your job. You want to be out there on time, but you also want to stay human and be able to function. Because if you can't, then you don't need to be driving. And a lot of times you're getting pushed to get there. Do this one. Do this one. Do this one. You ain't done yet. You ain't done yet. Oh, by the way, you need to go here. You need to go there. And it's like, no, I have to sleep.
Yeah.
I have to have a shower. I got to get something to eat. You know, you can't ignore it or if you ignore yourself, you can't drive. It's just not worth it, and it ain't safe.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, man. That some of those same things in my own life right now, I've just been realizing I got to do more taking care of myself, you know?
Plus, you want to find a job that you actually like doing. You don't want to stay stuck driving and hate it, because it ain't for you if you hate it. You know, and you have to keep your head turned all the time and watch behind your back. You know, I think if you help people, that eventually it'll come around to you eventually, sometime or another.
Yeah.
But karma is kind of cool to sit and watch if you just be patient and let it happen.
It's one cool thing I like about, I feel sorry when people die young and sometimes or they die early in their life because they don't get to, life really does have that full karma effect, really, in a lot of ways. You get to see things come back around and you're like, oh, wow.
When you see somebody cut you off the ultimate on the road, you know, this is like the prize winner, the big chicken dinner. If you see somebody cut you off or cut somebody else off, and then immediately following is these blue lights flying after that person, then you can sit there in that truck and laugh your ass off and point your finger and just be like, ha, 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 as you go down the road. Yeah, that's the revenge. That's the ultimate sweet revenge right there.
I like that. Yeah. Ginger, thank you so much for being here with us.
Oh, you're welcome.
We really appreciate it. And
thanks for asking me.
Yeah, it's an honor. And it's just cool to learn about the business and hear about some of the, you know, pros and cons of it and just to see a woman out there working hard, getting it done.
Busting ass.